Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth.
Good morning and welcome to Gooney in the Morning on KVST AM and FM. It is Monday, August the 11th, 6:29 here at the KBS studios. It's a nice 77 degrees outside. Gooney here with you this morning. Heather's in the house.
Hey, guys.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Got Charles going with us this morning.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, not a whole lot. Not a whole lot.
Maybe turn my mic up just a little bit. There, Gooney, I'm insulted. That is the second day we've done the morning show.
He does it all the time.
I do it to you on purpose, though.
It's bad enough it's Monday, but to be muted on a Monday, I don't think so.
That's the excuse. It's Monday. That's exactly what the excuse is right there.
Yes.
Oh, man. What a weekend. What a weekend for you, too. You were all over the place this week.
It was an exciting weekend. I spent the weekend on Saturday chasing a news story that started happening late Saturday. But before that, Gooney and myself, we got to go judge some brisket. We missed you, Heather.
Awesome. Oh, it was awesome.
Oh, I was at the car show. Actually, the show and shine at the mall.
Well, Gooney and I got to have about, I don't know, 11 contestants joined in the brisket cook-off.
11 people joined in. It was some amazing brisket. We had, I think, 6 entries into the beans competition.
Yeah. And Gooney said, he told me before we did this, he goes, Charles, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't eat beans.
Yeah.
I don't like them.
I don't. I'm not a fan of beans at all. Maybe some pork and beans, but that's about it.
And I would tell you, I've never judged brisket. I've eaten it, and it's either good brisket or bad brisket. So we were given the opportunity to judge, and we were told taste, texture, and appearance.
Right.
And judge it 1 through 10. And so you get the first one, and you're always like, okay, what do I give it? I mean, I have nothing to balance it out on.
Right.
So you just do your best, and then you kind of go above and beyond for the rest of them. That way, if it's better, you go higher. If it's lower, you go lower.
Right.
And I will tell you, there wasn't really any of them that were absolutely horrible. I would eat any of the brisket any single day.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And but there were probably 2 or 3 brisket that were just well above all the other ones.
Oh, man. There's some good stuff.
And my favorite one found its way into the finals. The vote was so close, they actually had us retaste at the end. And it was really good. Kelby Bailey and Ronnie Grant of Team Glazed and Confused, they actually took home first.
Glazed and Confused.
Yes.
That is awesome.
They actually took home first place in both brisket and beans.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, those beans were simply amazing. There were 1 entry in the beans that just went well above. I mean, and they were spicy, but they were really good. I mean, they had the flavor. That's right. And there was no question in my mind that those beans had won.
Yeah, you remember how I went and judged the one there in Andrews, and I wasn't a pork fan, and I was just terrified.
Like, I love pork.
Like, that's what happened with beans over the weekend.
Now you like beans.
Yeah, they were great.
It's just because you need to try things that you don't think are appealing. That's what it is. Like, ew, those beans are ugly.
I tried it when I was 5 years old, and I'm like, never again. Never again.
You're a grown man now.
Your palate has matured. And that's what I keep telling my daughter. I'm like, you know what? You're 8 years old now. We're not going to eat chicken nuggets and fries every single place you go.
I'm 24 and I still eat chicken and French fries.
My problem with that is, like, I've heard that. I've heard your palate matures over time, but my personality hasn't matured any since 5 years old. So I'm afraid that my palate's at the same way. Like, it just hasn't moved at all. It hasn't progressed.
Well, I tell you what, after we judged this thing, and this was a whole lot of fun. Right. After we judged this thing, we're packing up. Now, I plan on going to get some plates. I have a bunch of people here at the station who said, you know what, bring me some brisket. And I have some people at home who are like, hey, it's almost dinner time, bring me some brisket. Yeah. So I'm getting ready to go get some brisket, and I hear they're almost sold out.
Oh, wow.
And by the time we finished packing up, they finished out the plates. Which was simply amazing.
That was quick.
They also had a raffle. They had a beanbag toss tournament.
That was intense, by the way.
It looked intense.
Yeah. Yeah, beanbag toss.
But everyone had a whole lot of fun. And then Justin Kazak topped the night off. He was doing a special performance, and what he said is he's going to put the guitar case. At first he said a tip jar, and he changed it because I think a guitar case will hold more money. And I think he had some wishful thinking. He wanted to get out there and just really make some money for Relay for Life. And he said he was donating all the tips back to the cause, which was the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life.
Awesome.
So I want to send the shout out to all the guys' first annual brisket cook-off, and that was the Men in Black from Sid Richardson, Carbon and Energy. And we had Kelby Bailey and Ronnie Grant of Teague Glazed and Confused, who took home first in the brisket and the beans.
Right.
And then we also had TJ Rueda and Mike Guzman, Team Up and Smoke. They won second place in brisket.
Yeah.
And then we had Billy and Tommy Luxton along with Louise Holt of Team Whatever that took second place in beans.
That's what I like that one.
And
what's your team name? Whatever.
And she was Louise was the only one who shared her secret. Everybody else would not share their secret because I asked.
Don't share your secret though.
She did, and she wasn't scared. She said she'd been doing this in Midland at other competition, and her main secret was to just put the beans on ice.
Yeah, I had no idea that you could soaking beans on ice would do anything different.
It softens them up.
But you know what? Well, so does soaking them in warm water for a day.
Yeah, true.
I'm really going to try that, though.
Might as well.
I want some beans.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Great.
Eric Gang and all the guys that organized this thing, hats off to you because it was a whole lot of fun.
Job,
even working this event, it was a whole lot of fun.
It was.
And judging this event was even more fun. And we look forward to the second one.
That's right. And I want to give a big shout out to the Fraternal Order of Eagles. They even gave a huge donation to the Men in Black and the American Cancer Society. They're at the end, whenever we were about to wrap things up, they came over there and they had donated $1,000 to the American Cancer Society for the Men in Black. So that was huge right there. And, of course, they donated the entire building that was there at the Eagles Lodge, which is pretty huge because I mean, that's something that, the Eagles Lodge, that's how they make their money is off of renting that venue out and stuff like that.
For all these benefits that happen around
exactly.
here.
Exactly. So donated money on top of the building and everything. That was really, really cool how they had done that. Yeah. We also had the hang gliding competition wrapped up. We'll talk about more of that here in just a few minutes here on Gooney in the Morning on KBST AM and FM.
DQ, this is the stop sign of Texas. How does your typical Texas mom stop the afternoon munchies?
Mom, we're hungry!
With a quick stop at DQ. From great DQ desserts like the S'mores Blizzard to classic dip cones, shakes, sundaes, and more. For the best treats and eats in Texas, there's only one place to stop. DQ, this is the stop sign of Texas.
You can sing Davy Crockett backwards.
Frontier wild, the of King Crockett Davy.
It's not hard to rip the Canepa phone book in half.
Yeah, it's just 4 pages.
Ran out of gas going down a lane. I got chased by coyotes, skunks.
I'm Tumbleweed Smith. Hear the sound of Texas weekday mornings on KBST right after the 8 o'clock news. Sponsored by Churchwell Insurance and Choate Well Service.
I'm Danny Flanagan. Some topics are easy to talk about. Cremation isn't one of them. But when planning a funeral, it's a good idea to consider all the choices. At Nally Pickle & Welch Funeral Home and Crematory, we can help. If you're considering cremation, we can explain all the alternatives for a dignified, personalized service. Did you know that with cremation, you can still have a visitation, memorial gathering, interment, and all the regular funeral services? Contact Nally Pickle & Welch for a free brochure on cremation and cost. We'll answer all your concerns.
I remember our old country home, clean fresh air and flowers growing in the fields along the path beside our swimming hole. Mama hollering through the screen, would you kids like some homemade ice cream? That was such a simpler time and place. Bluebell tastes just like the good old days.
There's only one way to describe a 12-pack of Bluebell Crunch Bars. Delicious vanilla ice cream, coated in milk chocolate, and crisp rice. What more can I say?
Bluebell tastes just like the good old days.
Look for Bluebell frozen snacks at United Supermarket in Snyder and Lawrence Brothers in Stanton.
I'm Adrian Calvio. Deposit $5,000 in a State Farm IRA before April 15th. Why? A State Farm IRA is a great way to invest in your future, and it can save you money at tax time. Give me a call at 263-1275, and I'll explain the potential tax benefits and funding options available. Open your State Farm IRA before April 15th. Call me, 263-1275. I'm Adrian Calvio, State Farm Insurance.
This is Margie Carpenter, and I'm going to talk a little bit about my program, Ride and Fence, named after that column I did back in the 70s. Ever since 1994, it's been on this radio station the last Wednesday of the month at 8:15 in the morning. We talk about what's happening in Big Spring. We talk about sometimes what ought to be happening in Big Spring. But most of all, we talk about what used to happen in Big Spring because it has so much history.
Hear the history and more on Ride and Fence with Marge Carpenter every last Wednesday of the month, right here on KBST. Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Wait, we're talking about Gooney here. Well, at least he's funny. Sort of.
And welcome back to KBST AM and FM. You're listening to Gooney in the morning. Gooney here with you, getting you up and on your way. Charles Agona with us.
What's going on?
Hey, you got your mic out that time.
I hear that loud and clear on a Monday morning.
Heather's in the house.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Yes.
We had a very exciting weekend. The big 2014 Big Spring National Hang Gliding Competition finished up on Saturday. And we've been following this all week long. We had Belinda Bolter calling in, giving us some updates. Belinda sent me a photo of the final of the awards session that had everybody. And Zach Majors, the defending champion, he won again in the open class.
I can't believe that he came from behind and got the. I mean, I can because he's a champion.
Right.
And he's an American. But just the way that he came from behind this year and still got the win was just insane.
It did. It took. I mean, he didn't have great days on the first 2 days.
Right, he really did.
And then he won the third event, and then he struggled a couple more days, and then he needed the win to beat out second place Derek Turner, because Derek Turner, if Zach didn't win, Derek came in second. So, and they finished first and second in the final standing. So Zach needed that win to actually edge out Derek Turner. He won by I want to say about 12 points, 11 point something. Yeah. So he won by a very slim margin. First through fifth, all people from the U.S. We had Zach Majors coming in first, Derek Turner second, Michael Bilk third, Robin Hamilton fourth, and Davis Straub fifth.
Now, Davis is Belinda's husband.
Okay.
That's who that is.
Right.
And he is an excellent athlete as well.
He had some pretty good days, by the way.
Yeah, he really did. I think he had won one of the days. Yeah. And what's really cool about all Americans getting, the top few, top five or whatever it was, is this isn't a real heavy American sport, because it's worldwide. And a lot of these international guys are typically the ones, with the exception of Zach Majors,
right?
Because he's just, inhuman. But the other guys, usually, this is something where you typically see a lot of the champions from Australia or from Brazil or one of the South American countries, because it's real huge down there, because they have mountains and stuff where they can just jump off and hang glide whenever they feel like it. They don't have to wait. They don't have to wait for someone to pull them up in the air and wait for a thermal, because they're jumping off a mountain, in Brazil, getting these thermals by themselves. So it's real huge that Americans are winning and dominating the sports right now. And Zach, Zach Major, something that Belinda was telling me about him is he's real involved in the sports class. He helps out, because the sports class, it's kind of like the minor leagues for the hang gliding sport. And a sports class, they typically don't go as far as the open class goes, and their task isn't typically as hard because, like I said, it's usually for athletes who aren't as trained in hang gliding. And Zach, I'm not exactly sure what his position is, but he's kind of like the spokesperson,
the ambassador.
You can call him ambassador for the sports class. He's the one that helps these guys out and helps them get exposure. And he was the one that was really, really pushing on, I think it was Friday, on getting their task set to go, which was record breaking. It went, I think, 104 miles for the sports class. And that's the furthest that sports class has ever gone. And they had several guys finish, which was just really, really huge. Belinda was just talking about how big of a step that is for the sports class for them to finally go that far. And Zach he had his hand all over that. He was a real big part of letting them do that.
Well, not only that, but Zach was actually given tandem flights. Heather got to ride with Zach. I mean, he's the defending champion, and you would think if I was champion, I would go, you know what, I'm not going to do that small stuff anymore. I'm going to save everything I have for the flight. I mean, you don't see NFL quarterbacks going out and playing a game before they play a game. They don't go out and say, I'm going to play Saturday night.
Yeah.
I mean, it just doesn't
help
happen.
These college athletes real quick.
No,
Zach, Sunday.
Zach, the cool thing about Zach is that he was a really good teacher.
Yeah.
Even in just a little bit of time that I had with him. I mean, when we were up there, he was letting me stare at everywhere. Let me help him land. I mean, he was amazing up there. Most calm, cool, collected guy I think I've ever met in my entire life.
Well, Gooney, I have some statistics. I sat down last night and I was looking at these tasks, and they were all in kilometers.
Oh, really?
So you know what?
That's tough right there.
I'm an American. I don't do kilometers.
Did you go to Google?
I went to Google and I converted everything. And over the past 7 days, the pilots experienced great weather, and they flew a combined 757.3 miles during their daily task. They reached in fact, Saturday was the fastest that they went, their average speed, and they were up at almost 60 miles per hour at an average speed, which means and Belinda was telling us, I mean, they're kind of at the mercy of the wind.
Right.
So if they're averaging 60, sometimes they're going much, much faster.
Oh, yeah.
It was too fast going 30 when I was up there.
Yeah,
I mean, that wind was whipping.
When it's all open like that,
right.
30 miles an hour is pretty quick.
It is. I couldn't imagine going 60 or over 60.
Now, the other big thing in sports, and this is amazing because this was the first full weekend of preseason NFL, but we're not even talking about NFL yet. Tony Stewart.
Oh, man.
Oh, goodness.
Now you got to understand something about Tony Stewart. He races these on this dirt track, and this is his hobby.
Cars.
Yeah, they're sprint outlaw cars is what they are.
It's where a lot of NASCAR drivers get their start. So that's where they're grown from, where they begin. So they still, a lot of them still go back and race those when they're not racing NASCAR.
Well, typically they don't race them as much as Tony Stewart. Tony Stewart broke his leg last year racing this. And usually when you're an athlete, like say you're Tony Romo and you get a motorcycle.
Right.
You probably got a clause in your contract that says you can't ride a motorcycle because it's dangerous and you might break your leg.
Exactly.
You can't be a professional NBA star and go out and play in the X Games. Well, and that's pretty.
I just pictured LeBron James going up on a half pipe on a skateboard, right?
Exactly. They just don't allow it. So
Robin Big.
So Tony Stewart does this. This is his hobby. I mean, this is the thing that he loves to do. And he actually got in trouble. About a year ago, he broke his leg, and they tried to talk him out of it. And he said, "No," he says, "Everybody has their hobbies, and this is my hobby." So he's passionate about it.
He was out the rest of the season after that had happened, and even this season, a lot of folks have been wondering if that's why he hasn't been doing so well.
Right.
But yeah, he's passionate about the sport, and he's not giving it up.
And so Saturday he was racing, and he actually got into it on the track. He got into a guy and spun him out, and the guy hit the wall. Yeah. Didn't hurt the guy. The guy was kind of teed off, though. He got out of his car. Now, you'll see this in some NASCAR races, and I kind of think you're not going to see this very much longer because I imagine that there's going to be a rule that you stay in your car no matter what unless it's on fire. But the guy got out of his car and just started waving his arms, pointing at Tony Stewart, waited for him to come back around. Now, they're on this little, I think, half-mile oval. It's a short track. And he was pointing. He was ticked off. Now, where he was a dark area. Turn 2 was just very dark. He was wearing a black suit. And on the video replay, and I'm surprised there's video of this.
Me too. It's everywhere.
He's walking like right into the car, and the car in front of him actually has to turn and move out the way.
Yeah, he almost get hit by that white car that's right in front of Tony.
And then Tony Stewart comes by, and you can hear Tony Stewart actually rev the engine up a little bit and kind of turn at the last second. Now, this guy looks to be like right into the car. The back wheel slid a little bit, pulled him up under the back wheel, and then shot him out like 25 feet away from the car.
Yeah, drag him a little ways.
And they pronounced him dead. Now, this is the thing, and a lot of people were saying Tony Stewart revved his engine. Tony Stewart's known for being a hothead.
Right.
But the thing is that they were saying that when you're racing this track, the reason why Tony Stewart likes to do this and a lot of other drivers is because that dirt track with these cars is like driving on hard-packed snow. You slide everywhere, and it's fun to do. And they said that pretty much you have to gas that car to get it to turn. If you don't, it won't.
Exactly.
And so they said another thing he may have been trying to do is he may have been trying to shoot him a rooster tail of dirt.
Right.
And that's very common.
Oh, yeah.
I think it should be his fault for even walking around on a track with speeding cars everywhere.
Yeah, that's the thing that Charles is saying is that, that's something that NASCAR and just racing in general is going to have to look at.
That's his own fault. Like
Clint Boyer, I know that a couple years ago he was known for getting out of his car with an altercation with Jeff Gordon, and he took his helmet off and threw it at Jeff Gordon's car as it flew by. And this was at, probably 90 miles an hour.
See what I mean? That's your own fault. That's for your own stupidity.
Well,
get away from a moving vehicle.
Well, on a NASCAR track, and this isn't saying that it's okay to get out and everything, but on a NASCAR track, that track's wide. You can go 3, 4, 5 cars wide on some of the tracks.
Right.
Yeah.
And you usually see the drivers getting out throwing stuff in Bristol where it's a little bit smaller track, but this track was very small.
Right, and it was dark too, and that's one of the big things too is that it was dark. It was nighttime. There's not funding. There's not funding in this sprint racing like there is NASCAR racing. So it's a little bit darker. They don't have the big lights and everything out there.
Right.
And then unfortunately, this guy, he was upset, which I can understand. A lot of these racers when he gets spun out, especially at that level, because those guys are trying to make it. They're trying to make a name for themselves, and a lot of them, this is their career. They put everything they have into this, into this car. They're looking to make money for their family.
Yeah.
They get wrecked out in the race. Of course, they're going to take it personal when it's someone like Tony Stewart, because they're thinking, this is just a big shot coming into our sport coming down here.
Yeah,
and bullying us around.
That.
So he gets out of the car upset. I mean, I can understand his frustration and him being upset, but you got to be careful in situations like that because he just got a little bit too close, and that's what's the case with.
I want to point out Kevin Moore Jr. He was one of the rising stars in the sport,
right?
And like a lot of racers, he had grown up doing go-karts and everything else, so he was an experienced racer, and still just kind of let it get to his head. He jumped out and he did something stupid, and unfortunately the events turned out like they did. So our thoughts are with his family. His family has to be shocked. I mean, they go to a race, and this is unheard of. I've never heard of a car hitting another person and killing them on the track.
Yeah, it's very devastating, and it's just something to look towards in the future with a lot of these racers. It's just a sad situation. Police are investigating right now. Tony Stewart, though, he's released a couple comments saying that he's very, very saddened by this. I mean, he's just been distraught. That was one of the key reasons he didn't race at all, in the race at Watkins Glen yesterday, was because he was just, it broke him down, which you can imagine something like that.
Yeah, I highly doubt that Tony Stewart did that on purpose. It was just wrong place.
No,
wrong
Tony
time.
Stewart had too much to lose to do that on purpose.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he has way too much ahead of him to even think about doing something like that.
Hey, I also want to point out that Debbie Valverde is going to be in on Community Calendar today. That's right. Following the Gooney in the Morning show. She's going to be talking about the First Class for Leadership Big Spring 2014 through 2015 will be September 11th, and applications have gone out in the mail. So if you got an application, turn it in by the 15th. Which is in just a couple days, and space is limited. So if you need an application, call the chamber office, 263-7641. And Gooney, we got a whole lot more to talk about today.
We do. We got a jam-packed show. It's August, man. Football season's coming up. I'm excited.
Oh, Saints won their pregame.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they did.
So preseason game.
Yeah. Pregame.
Let me get the slow clap going for a preseason victory. Way to go, Saints.
Hey guys, it took us almost an hour to jump into football, and we haven't even touched Jerry Jones. He finally got trapped by reporters and forced to comment on those photos.
Yeah,
I tell you what, there was actually a story. ESPN has not been on this story, which is kind of questionable, knowing that. I mean, once it came out, ESPN should have been all on this.
Money.
CBS Sportsline, Fox Sports 1, all these organizations skipped the story.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, you know what, there can't be too much to the story. Something has to be wrong for all these people to lay off this story.
Right.
And the thing is, it's very funny, and we're going to talk about it a little bit more. Jerry Jones was he was kind of sly in getting away from this stuff, and
he typically is.
His reasoning is kind of funny. So.
It really is. It's hilarious. Hey, be sure to get your birthdays and anniversaries into our Facebook page, facebook.com/KBest957. We'll read those live and on the air along with your sweetheart of the day. We'll also have your U.S. National Hang Gliding Champion with us, Zach Majors, when we return here on Gooney in the Morning on KBST, AM and FM.
Hi, I'm Joyce at Choate Well Service. I know some witches. No, not Halloween witches. Water well witches. Choate Well Service has witches. If water is there, Choate Well Service can find it. For your water well needs, call us. Choate Well Service, 393-5231. We're the best in the business, and we have witches.
News. I'm Chuck Martin. We're close to a new school year, and some believe we're also close to a decision in the state school finance trial. TSN's Austin Bureau Chief Chris Fox has more.
This is the same lawsuit that Judge John Dietz ruled on back in 2013. He then reopened the case months later to include a $3.9 billion funding increase from lawmakers.
It is inefficient, inequitable, unsuitable, and arbitrarily funds districts at different levels below the Constitution required decision of
laid by Attorney General Greg Abbott, who tried to appeal for a nation as early as this week. In Austin, Chris Fox, TSN News.
Local school counselors and teachers across Texas told during an anti-bullying summit in San Antonio that the key to stopping bullying is to empower decent kids to shun bullies.
When the high-status social bully says to all the other girls, I don't like the new girl. You want to be in my group? Don't eat lunch with her. I want your daughter to be the one to say, that's mean, that's cruel.
Barbara Colarasso says they see their behavior costing them peer status, the bully will stop. Democratic candidate for Governor Wendy Davis is being accused of flip-flopping on the death penalty. Davis voted as a Fort Worth City Councilwoman in July 2000 for an unsuccessful resolution supporting a death penalty moratorium, but on the campaign stump now says she supports it. Greg Abbott also accused Davis of political posturing. A Davis spokesman says that the senator wanted changes to the death penalty that have since been addressed by courts and the legislature. The House Select Committee on Transparency and State Agency Operations, considering impeaching UT System Regent Wallace Hall, meets again today at the Capitol to continue talking about the issue. If impeached, Hall could be the first governor-appointed official removed from office in state history. It's all in the family for a South Texas congressman and his lawman brother. Henry Cuellar's brother Martin, the Webb County sheriff, has written Henry to tell him his Rio Grande Valley department is suffering because of the stress of illegal immigration. We're saving a little more at the pump this week. TSN Susan Darwin tells us on average we're paying about a nickel less than this time last week.
The average price
price across the state is currently $3.32 a gallon. You're saving a little more if you live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, where the average is about $3.27. El Paso has the most expensive gas at $3.41 a gallon, Amarillo the cheapest at $3.20. But if you shop around, you could find it even cheaper than that. But still, Texas is paying less than the national average, which is $3.47 a gallon. Susan Darwin, TSN News.
In sports, the Rangers got past the Astros Sunday 6-2. This is TSN News.
Hall of Fame catcher Johnny Bench for Blue Emu.
I may have retired, but I'm still active thanks to Blue Emu. For over 10 years, I've used Blue Emu products. I recently discovered their continuous pain relief spray. Like everything Blue Emu makes, it's made with deep penetrating emu oil, and it contains the same active ingredient as the leading pain relief cream. Odor-free Blue Emu pain relief spray helps me with all my muscle aches and joint pain. And it's convenient for those hard-to-reach places. And for those tired muscles and joints, you can't beat Blue Emu's Super Strength Cream. It's a non-greasy, deep-penetrating formula that works down into my muscles and joints. And of course, it's also odor-free. Folks, don't be fooled by the imitators. There's only one, America's #1 emu oil formula, Blue Emu. Trust me, it works fast and you won't stink. Blue Emu, it works for me and it'll work for you.
Blue Emu is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, and stores everywhere.
Anger on the streets of Ferguson, Missouri last night. The sounds of St. Louis area police moving in to quell violent looting spawned by the deadly shooting of a teenager. It followed a candlelight vigil held in memory of 18-year-old Michael Brown last night, shot dead by a police officer. Officials say the U.S. has begun directly providing weapons to Kurdish forces who have started to make gains against the Islamic enemy, ISIS. The latest ceasefire appears to be holding between Israel and Hamas while truce talks carry on in Cairo. 24 thrill seekers got more than they bargained for aboard the Joker's Jinx at Six Flags in Maryland last night. The 90-second ride lasted 5 hours after stalling some 80 feet in the air. S&P Futures gaining 6 points ahead of the bell. Chuck Martin, TSN News.
With news every hour, this is KBST AM and FM, Big Spring.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Joan Bennett. It's a long night of looting and vandalism in Ferguson, Missouri, a suburb of St. Louis, following the police shooting death Saturday of an unarmed black teen. Police say Michael Brown was shot after trying to grab an officer's weapon, but Brown's mother says he was murdered. ABC's Steve Olsen-Sami is in Ferguson.
Overnight, on fire and out of control.
Oh, it's a free-for-all here.
North of St. Louis, thieves ruled the night, ransacking local businesses. Police armed with riot gear couldn't keep up. An entirely different scene from the emotional protest for the slain young man.
The Justice Department says it will monitor the local investigation of the teen's death. Police say at this time, no charges are pending against NASCAR star Tony Stewart following Saturday night's fatal racing accident on a dirt track in upstate New York. ABC's Gio Benitez and Canandaigua says investigators are looking at cell phone video of the tragedy.
We see in that video Kevin Ward Jr. coming out of his car and then Tony Stewart's car slamming right into him and killing him. But we don't know what the intent was, if there was any intent at all. At this point, Stewart has said that it was an accident. It was a terrible accident and that he feels awful about it.
Kurdish forces advancing against the invading Islamic militants in northern Iraq after U.S. airstrikes paved the way. ABC's Ann Compton says the U.S. is now arming the Kurds.
Getting U.S. military aid directly into the hands of the Kurdish forces has become key as those try to prevent ISIS from seizing more land in the north. But Washington also continues to insist Iraq's fractured political leadership has to pull together to be effective.
A 17-year-old boy accused of sexually assaulting and killing a 6-year-old Washington State girl is due in court today. This is ABC News.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number.
Call 877-319-MY-TV.
The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So cancel the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money.
Call 877-319-MY-TV.
At just $24.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card.
Call 877-319-MY-TV. That's 877-319-MY-TV.
It'll be home to 942 bursts of laughter, a 16-pound blackened turkey dinner, and the loudest burp on record. It will see its fair share of broken windows, broken bones, broken hearts. But first, you have to find it. Start your home search at Zillow.com or on our family of apps. You can view millions of photos, browse historical pricing data, and even sign up for alerts when new homes hit the market. Zillow, find your way home.
A White House task force has reported that 1 in 5 female college students is a victim of sexual assault. Now, one state is considering a new law, says ABC's Deirdre Bryant.
Lawmakers in California are considering a first-in-the-nation measure that would require all colleges receiving public funds to set a standard for when yes means yes. It would be used in investigating sexual assault allegations. Each party would have to have made an unambiguous decision to engage in sexual activity. Silence, lack of resistance, or if the person is drunk, drugged, or asleep would not constitute consent. A woman who runs campus workshops says it's startling how many people raise their hands when she asks how many think if a girl is blacked out or drunk, it's okay to have sex with her. Deirdre Bryant, ABC News.
The upscale retailer Barney's has agreed to pay $525,000 to settle allegations of racial profiling at its Madison Avenue flagship store in New York. Barney's will also hire an anti-profiling consultant for 2 years. Joan Bennett.
Elrod's Furniture is pleased to announce that we are now the authorized dealer for Flex Steel furniture. Flex Steel, America's seating specialist, has been producing high-quality furniture for over 100 years. The Latitudes collection features the Dual Flex spring system that sets the standard for comfort. This spring system pairs the famous blue ribbon seat spring with helical coils into a durable steel frame. And because it's Flex Steel, both the wood frame and the spring system are guaranteed for life. The Latitudes collection lets you enjoy the quality of Flex Steel furniture, as well as the luxury of fine leather at prices you can afford. So come in for a no-pressure shopping experience at Elrod's Furniture, Big Spring's oldest, largest, finest furniture store with the best brands and best prices at 2309 Scurry Street.
Now just swinging at the whistling line drive to left center field. It's a base hit. It's taken on the second.
Baseball is America's national sport, with more words written about it than any other sport.
Here comes the pitch. And there's a fly ball.
It is exciting to watch a game.
There's a drive into left center field. That ball is going to be.
When you're getting ready to go to a game, check your vehicle. If you need a part, call West Texas at 263-5000. The folks in the know when it comes to auto parts. Snyder Highway, Big Spring.
It's never too late to enroll at New Hope Christian School for newborns through 12. New Hope offers a Becca curriculum with loving Christian teachers, after-school care, and transportation available for most area schools. Hot, nutritious breakfast, lunch, and an afternoon snack provided. Stop by 118 Cedar Road or go to newhopebigspring.com. That's www.newhopebigspring.com. See what a difference New Hope can make in your child's future.
We're sending you back to the future.
Your child's future depends on their education, and Nazarene Christian Academy continues to provide you with a choice in that education. With kindergarten, first grade, and second grade coming in 2014, they provide a Becca curriculum with certified, loving Christian teachers. For more information, go to newhopebigspring.com. See what a difference Nazarene Christian Academy can make in your child's future.
You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 business days before any digging project. No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Brought to you by the Permian Basin Regional Planning Commission and Department of Transportation Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration.
Hello, I'm Larry McClellan, owner of Leonard's Family of Pharmacies. I'd like to invite you to Westover Pharmacy, the newest pharmacy in Big Spring on the corner of Westover and FM 700. Westover Pharmacy was designed for your convenience with a drop-off and pickup window located on separate sides of the building, so there is less time to spend waiting. Pharmacist Candy Alleman and her friendly staff are eager to serve you at Westover Pharmacy on the corner of FM 700 and Westover, right here in Big Spring.
Take advantage of Big Spring's big break from Westex and save money faster. With new low prices on fast, high-quality internet, you can enjoy faster download speeds for a fraction of the cost. And the best part is, no more dealing with those big out-of-town companies. With high-speed internet starting at just $22.35, Westex will move you faster and cheaper than anyone. And if you need even faster speed, we have you covered up to 3 megabits. That's enough speed for all your upload, download, and online gaming needs. If you're tired of paying too much for internet and just want to sit down face-to-face to do business, call Westex. We're faster, cheaper, and just more pleasant to work with. Give us a call today at 432-263-0091 or stop by our office at 711 Scurry Street to find out more. Brought to you by your friends at Westex. Small world, wide open.
DQ, this is the stop sign of Texas. How does your typical Texas mom stop the afternoon munchies?
Mom, we're hungry!
With a quick stop at DQ. From great DQ desserts like the S'mores Blizzard to classic dip cones, shakes, sundaes, and more. For the best treats and eats in Texas, there's only one place to stop. DQ, this is the stop sign of Texas.
With the news you need, when you need it. Howard County's news leader, your K-Best Radio Group News.
Good morning, I'm Kayla Kay with your K-Best Radio Group News. It's Monday, August 11th, and the time is 7:09, and it's 77 degrees outside right now. Your complete weather forecast is coming up. A fatal shooting occurred Saturday night. The events began as a carjacking at the TA truck stop at 704 West I-20 and ended approximately 7 miles away on Andrews Highway. According to the Big Spring Police report, 24-year-old James Keck called 911 at approximately 8:20 p.m. to report his mother's vehicle was stolen and that he was in pursuit. The chase reached speeds of over 100 miles per hour before the driver of the stolen vehicle had come to a stop approximately 1 mile north of County Road 2599 on Andrews Highway. The driver of the stolen vehicle, later identified as 42-year-old Bobby Jean Bricker of Big Spring, was shot by Keck and later pronounced dead by Justice of the Peace Benny Green. Based on the investigation and available evidence, the Big Spring Police Department determined the shooting was not justified and charged Keck with murder. KBST News learned that Keck was bailed out of Howard County Law Enforcement Center on Sunday afternoon. His bond was set at $50,500. A family member told KBST News that Keck was moving to Dallas to start a new job. He was traveling with family in 2 vehicles that included his wife, 4-year-old daughter, mother, grandmother, and a family friend. They were also traveling with Trax, a 4-year-old dog that was described as family. The family insists that Keck, who had a concealed carry permit, fired in self-defense after being fired upon by Bricker. KBST News will have more on the story as further details are available. And KBST received reports of one of the fire stations that had been closed that overtime was no longer being given to the firefighters and paramedics. With our local population on the rise, I asked Fire Chief Craig Ferguson if this was a cause for concern. I'm sorry, we're having a little technical difficulty. Some reports were saying that firefighters and EMTs weren't receiving overtime, but it seems that may not be the case. With our local economy growing so fast, jobs that are essential to community are sometimes on the back burner for jobs that may pay more. Chief Ferguson says we are always in need of more firefighters and EMTs.
We're doing another new hire test on August 23rd. We're always looking for certified people, so anybody that is fully certified firefighter EMT, come out. And, you have to go through the civil service testing process, but we would love to have you.
And if you're interested in attending a class to become a firefighter or EMT for the city of Big Spring, you can contact the HR department at 432-264-2347. And jury selection is scheduled to begin today in the 118th District Court for the trial of Leroy Zubiate, who is charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon in the November 27th shooting that wounded Juan Diaz. Zubiate was arrested by U.S. Marshals in San Antonio about 3 weeks after the shooting. Testimony is set to begin tomorrow, and if convicted, Zubiate could receive a sentence between 2 and 20 years. And the city of Big Spring has identified a collapsed collection line that resulted in a sanitary sewer overflow near this intersection of 11th Place and FM 700. The city of Big Spring installed a bypass pump into the system prior to the faulty line to remove sanitary sewer and divert it to another manhole, bypassing the damaged area and containing the flow back into the proper wastewater system for appropriate disposal. No imminent danger is expected from this occurrence. And once the area has been cleaned, the city of Big Spring will perform flushing of the area with water to dilute and treat the area and perform area remediation. However, as a precautionary measure, it is requested that citizens adhere to the following. Persons using private drinking water supply wells located within 1/2 mile of the spill site or within the potentially affected area should use only water that has been distilled or boiled at a rolling boil for at least 1 minute for all personnel uses, including drinking, cooking, bathing, and toothbrushing. Individuals with private water wells should have their well water tested and disinfected if necessary prior to the discontinuation, distillation, or boiling. Persons who purchase water from a public water supply may contact their water supply distributor to determine if the water is safe for personal use. The public should avoid contact with waste, material, soil, or water in that area potentially affected by the spill. If the public comes into contact with waste material, soil, or water potentially affected by the spill, they should bathe and wash clothes thoroughly as soon as possible. And the first annual brisket cook-off took place Saturday at the Eagles Lodge. This event was hosted by the Men in Black from Sid Richardson Carbon and Energy, and it benefited the American Cancer Society Relay for Life. There were 11 teams competing in 2 categories in the competition, brisket and beans. Billy and Tommy Luxton, along with Louise Holt of Team Whatever, took second place in beans. Louise shares her secret for success.
I soak them in ice. My mother taught me everything I know.
And TJ Rueda and Mike Guzman's team, Up and Smoke, won second place in brisket. And TJ tells us about this process.
I've been cooking since I was 16. I started off cooking probably 4 hours, and I'm up to about 12 to 16 hours today. I really couldn't cook that long, so it's a little bit different today, a little bit harder.
And Kelby Bailey and Ronnie Grant of Team Glazed and Confused were the big winners of the day, taking first place in both beans and brisket. Kelby tells us his beans are his specialty.
Beans has been my secret for a long time, and this is how it is, man.
And his secret for his award-winning brisket?
Just seasoned up cooking, man.
Organizer Eric Gang says the event was better than anticipated.
Obviously better than we anticipated. Of course, the Eagles, along with a big donation to us for the Relay for Life, that was huge. And of course, everybody turned out, they cooked their own brisket and they donated that to us so we can sell plates or donation plates. It turned out really good.
And the event featured a beanbag toss tournament, a raffle, and a performance from Justin Kazak. In obituaries, Alfred Ray Lang, 62 of Big Spring, died Wednesday, August 6th at Midland Memorial Hospital. Services are pending at Myers & Smith Funeral Home. And George Gamage Sr., 68 of Big Spring, died Thursday, August 7th at Scenic Mountain Medical Center. Services are pending at Myers & Smith Funeral Home. Bonnie Brimland, 53, of Big Spring, died Saturday, August 9th in Midland. Services are also pending at Myers & Smith Funeral Home. KBST News Time is 7:16, and this portion of your news is brought to you by Myers & Smith Funeral Home. We'll be back with sports and a look at your weather right after this.
When personal loss visits a family, we often hear that only time will heal the wounds. Time will, and so will care and concern.
It was good just to feel the care and concern of others.
That really helped us. Nothing can take away the difficult emotions, but our staff will show they care with sensitivity, compassion, and respect.
Myers & Smith Funeral Home and Chapel.
KBST News Time is 7:17, and now here's Gooney Vickers, our KBST Sports Director, with your sports.
Hey, Kayla, thanks. The Texas Rangers and Houston Astros battled it out in Houston over the weekend. The Astros won the series 2-1, winning game 1 4-3, game 2 8-3. But the Rangers took game 3 yesterday 6-2, with both Beltre and Chu getting home runs in the win. The Rangers are back at home against the Rays tonight with the first pitch at 7:05, and that game can be heard on the mighty 1490 KBST AM. The Astros are home against the Twins tonight with the first pitch at 7:10. In minor league baseball, the Midland Rockhounds lost 2 out of 3 against Springfield over the weekend in Midland, taking game 2 Saturday 9-3. The Hounds traveled to Tulsa tonight to begin a 3-game series with the first pitch at 7:05. And in local sports, tennis practice begins today for Big Spring High School. Practice is from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Tennis Center located inside Comanche Trail Park. Incoming freshmen and juniors must have a physical before participating in practice. For more information, contact Coach Jones at 432-557-3831 or log on to kbestmedia.com. This is Gooney in the KBest Sports Center.
KBST News Time is 7:18. A complete look at our Howard County weather right after this.
This is your Action News reporter again at the scene of Back in Motion Chiropractic, where another amazing incident seems to have occurred. Pardon me, sir. Did you see what happened here at Back in Motion?
Yeah, I did. He looked like an ordinary man, but I believe he was a superhero. He took Ethel's head and adjusted her neck real gentle-like, and she came out a-smiling. Took her pain away in a flash. Come back here, Ethel!
There you have it. Pain has once again been eliminated at Back in Motion Chiropractic.
KBST News Time is 7:19 in weather. Today's high will be 95 degrees with a 50% chance of rain. In the evening, tonight's low will be 70 degrees with winds out of the northeast at 11 miles per hour. Tomorrow, the high is 95 with winds out of the northeast at 11 miles per hour and a 20% chance of rain. And the low tomorrow will be 71 degrees. I'm Kayla Kay with your KBest Radio Group News. More with Gooney in the morning after this.
Whether you're selling or purchasing real estate property, you want to receive the kind of exposure that leads to faster closings at better prices. When selecting a real estate agent, you can count on Sherry Key and her agents at United Country Heart of the City Realtors. They will work hard for you. It will be worth your time to contact Sherry and her agents by calling 714-4555, or you may visit their website at heartofthecityrealtors.com. That's United Country Heart of the City Realtors in Big Spring.
These cheesy bread dogs are great. The cheese is baked into the bun.
Oh, yeah, the bun's the best part.
Well, what about the hot dog?
Oh, yeah, the hot dog's the best part.
You can't have more than one best part.
Yeah, I totally can. Like, I have many best qualities. I'm frugal, I'm kind to those in need, and I can levitate for short periods of time.
No, that's called jumping.
Oh, cool, you already got a name for it.
Every part's the best part. New cheesy bread dogs. This is how you Sonic. For limited time, only participating Sonic drive-ins. Call Star Sonic for specials. Not all carriers are covered. Messenger data rates apply.
Need cash fast? Cash Pawn loans on tools, electronics, musical equipment, gold, and much more. Cash Pawn will pay you for any of your used or unwanted guns. Turn your broken or unwanted gold into cash fast. No need to worry about bad credit or credit checks. You're guaranteed to get your money quick. Cash Pawn loans to help you in your time of need. It's friendly, convenient, and confidential. Let Cash Pawn be your #1 pawn shop, located at 210 North Gregg Street in Big Spring.
All right, here we go.
Hold your ears, folks. It's showtime.
It's showtime.
All right, showtime.
Showtime. Showtime.
It's showtime.
It's showtime.
Showtime. Showtime.
Let's bring it in. It's showtime, right?
Hurry up.
Broadcasting live from the K-Best studios in the Spring City. It's the morning show you wake up to hear. Gooney in the morning with Gooney.
It's hard to think of words in the morning.
And Heather.
And I'm dyslexic and ADD.
Yeah.
Whoa.
60% of the time, it works every time. That escalated quickly.
Are you ready?
Might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy.
Good morning, and welcome to Gooney in the Morning. Hey, I want to let everybody know that this portion of Gooney in the Morning is brought to you by Parks Insurance Agency. Stop by there, 900 Main Street. Go on down there and give old Mike a shout. Tell him thanks for bringing you Gooney in the Morning. In the morning time. That's a great insurance company, too. They have access. The good thing about this insurance company is it's not just one focused company. They have access to tons and tons of insurance agencies. They can go through Liberty Mutual, Progressive, the Hartford, Travelers, Allstate, just tons of insurance companies there that they have the opportunity to go through. It's amazing. So, yeah, get on down there, 900 Main Street. Give them a call, 267-5504. We got Charles Siona with us today. What's going on, Gooney? It's going, man. Heather's in the house.
Hey, guys.
Hey, guys. Hey, and we may be having a phone call coming in. Hang gliding defending champion, Zach Majors. We're expecting a call from him. And I see Gooney over here working the phone, so that may be Zach coming in. Yeah, we got him on there now. Hang tight for us, Zach. Hang tight for us, bud. That's what he does best, right? He does. Hang He tight. hangs tight. That's right. Hey, we got a couple birthdays that we got to get to real quick before we get to Zach. I know that. We got a special one on here from Debbie Valverde. It's an anniversary. Happy 30th anniversary to an awesome couple there, Jan and Terry Hansen. How about that? Happy anniversary, folks. Happy 30th anniversary. Also have a happy 7th birthday to Vanessa Biaba, or from Vanessa Biaba here to Andrew Garcia. Happy 7th, Andrew. Who's the sweetheart of the day today, Heather?
Our sweetheart of the day is Deborah Cialone.
KBSD. All right, and while we're waiting to get Zach back into queue, I want to remind everyone that the Big Spring ISD is asking all the elementary parents before August 15th, you need to stop by the elementary campus that you believe your student's going to be attending and bring proof of residency. This information is needed by the school's administration so they can place the students on classroom rosters. So that includes any monthly bill or bank statement with the street address will be good. And to validate the resident of the student and parent or guardian. And also meet the teacher nights coming up Thursday, August 21st, and that's going to be at all of the elementary campuses. And if you have more information or questions, contact Records and Registration Office, 264-3622. It's almost time for school. Oh, it's getting there. The teachers report on Thursday. Yeah. Oh, man. How about that? Well, I think we have Zach Majors on the phone now. Zach, are you there, bud?
I am.
There we go.
There we go.
Got you now. Sorry about that, Zach. Had a few technical difficulties. Thanks for calling back, though, man. I appreciate that.
Hey, my pleasure.
Well, thanks for calling in.
Me on.
Yeah, but thanks for calling into the show, man. And Zach, you are the champion here in Big Spring at the U.S. National Hang Gliding Competition that went down all last week up through Saturday. Congratulations, first off, on getting the big win, Zach.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was. It's still sinking in for me. It was. I'd been so far behind that for it to come back and be a swing like that was. It's still kind of a shock.
Yeah.
I bet, man. That was a tough week for you there. You'd had a few days there that you weren't sure if you were going to be able to pull it off, but in the end, you were able to do it, man. Just take us a little bit through the week, starting with Monday and kind of going along there. Like you said, you'd had a couple struggles. Tell us just a little bit about that.
Well, hang gliding competitions, each day is a new race. and we try to push ourselves and make a lot of decisions, and it gives a chance for over the week the cream to rise to the top. And a lot of times, if you're not consistent, day one I got out there, I was able to finish in 7th place. I felt really good about that. I'm like, okay, hey, I've had a history of bad first days. So, day 2 though, I ended up landing 15 kilometers short of our goal of flying back into Big Spring.
Oh wow!
And I lost about almost 600 points on that day.
Wow!
So I had dropped down, I think, I was 17th place on that day.
No kidding.
Yeah, so I'm like, well, that's it. Okay, so day 3 I came back. I thought, all right, I've got nothing to lose at this point, and I was able to come back on day 3 and win pretty handily. And my friends kind of always joke because I've done that before. I have a bad day and like, all right, just come back. And after that, the week went, was pretty normal. I was just kind of, around the top, but had such a deficit to make up that I didn't think it was going to happen. And I'm coming into the last 2 days. One of my friends, Robin, he's a great pilot. He had a bad day, and that kind of opened the door a little bit. And on day 5, I was still 550 points back.
Jeez.
And so day 6 and 7, I came out. I pushed really hard, went early, instead of going on the later clocks and following the other racers. And I was able to go out front and just do it on my own and get into goal ahead of people and get all the extra points for being early.
Right.
So it was a lot of fun. I got to make up several hundred points on day 6, and then on day 7, when I finished first, I thought this is good. I had to look behind me and just watch to see how soon Derek came in behind me.
Right.
It was about 10 minutes back. And I didn't really believe it was going to be enough, and it wasn't until we were actually at the party.
Oh, wow.
Our award ceremony party, though, the scores were finally calculated, and people started hinting that, I think you got him. I'm like, no.
You ended up pulling it off. Well, real quick, Zach, this sports class, and I talked a little bit earlier in the week about the sports class quite a bit, and how it's kind of like the minor leagues there in hang gliding, and you do a lot for these sports class guys, and you help them get their task that was pretty much record-breaking, right?
Yeah, we had a fantastic week with those guys. One of my roommate in California is a sport class pilot.
Okay.
And I see these guys, young guys coming up, and I really want to encourage that. So yeah, we kept pushing them. And every day we'd call a little bit longer task, and we'd still get several guys making it, and they were all so excited they're getting personal best. In Texas, has some of the most amazing flying conditions that when we saw one windy day, said, hey, we're going to send them 100 miles. 106 miles, and 6 of the pilots were able to finish that 106-mile task for their first time flying over 100 miles.
That's awesome. Well, thanks a lot, Zach, for calling in and talking with us this morning, man. And a big congratulations again, man. Just a huge feat you took on this week, and you ended up getting the championship again, man. We look forward to seeing you again next year, buddy.
Hey, thanks a lot, Gooney. It was a pleasure getting to talk to you, and it was a pleasure flying with you, Heather. So
thank you, Zach. That was awesome.
Well, thanks a lot, Zach. And just take care out there, man, and good luck in the future, bud.
I appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you guys again. Take care.
All right. Zach Majors there, the 2014 U.S. National Hang Gliding Champion from Big Spring here. We got NASCAR Minute, but first we got TSN coming up next on KBST AM and FM.
Of knowledge. The decision was then delayed by Attorney General Greg Abbott, who tried to appeal for a new judge. Some believe Judge Dietz could have a decision as early as this week. In Austin, Chris Fox, TSN News.
School counselors and teachers learn new techniques to squash a unique kind of bullying, the social bully, during a summit in San Antonio.
When the high-status social bully says to all the other girls, I don't like the new girl. You want to be in my group? Don't eat lunch with her. I want your daughter to be the one to say, that's mean, that's cruel.
Barbara Colarazo says they see their behavior costing them peer status, and the bully will stop. The House Select Committee on Transparency and State Agency Operations, considering impeaching UT System Regent Wallace Hall, meets again today at the Capitol to continue discussing the issue. If impeached, Hall could be the first governor-appointed official removed from office in state history. Hall is accused of leading an effort to oust System President Bill Powers, who announced he's leaving next June. A Texas Tech University Research Center estimates 4 counties in the High Plains have less than 15 years before water for irrigation could run out. Last year, a similar study showed the chief underground water source was being depleted at a rate that suggested the aquifer would last 50 years. We'll combine the heat and high dew point, toss in humidity, and you get between 105 and 109 today in places like Hallettsville and Victoria. You may not address all of your physical ailments, but there are some health symptoms you should never ignore. Dr. Ajma Ashrif with Parkland Health and Hospital Systems offers up 6 of those.
Unexplained weight loss, shortness of breath, persistent fever, changes in bowel habits, mental status changes, or if you feel very full after eating very little.
All of these symptoms could indicate a stroke, and that would require immediate attention.
I'm Chris Schneider. The Rangers and Astros closed out their weekend series.
Details ahead on TSN Morning News Break.
Have you noticed an increase in the traffic? That means the boom is on. Little bitty country roads, city streets, and highways are crowded with trucks hauling oil field equipment. You're probably driving more these days, too, with the beginning of school. When you wear out a part on your pickup, call Westex at 263-5000. You'll find the part you need so you can get back in all that traffic. Westex, the folks in the know when it comes to parts for late model pickups. Snyder Highway, Big Spring.
This is what you will get with Parks Agency. Why shop anywhere else for insurance when Parks Agency is a one-stop shop? Get your home, auto, motorcycle, and your business quoted with almost any national insurance company such as Allstate, Travelers, Liberty Mutual, and Progressive, just to name a few. Hi, I'm Mike Richardson, and all of us here at the Parks Agency have been devoted to our customers and our community since 1935. We work for you. Stop by 900 Main or call us at 267-5504 and you experience the difference of choice.
Welcome back to Morning News Break for Monday, August 11th. The border crisis has produced a family bond of sorts between Laredo Congressman Henry Cuellar and his brother, Webb County Sheriff Martin Cuellar. Both say failure is not an option. The only Democrat to vote for the recent House border security bill says he sees some reason for optimism.
Working with the Central American countries, working with Mexico to address the core issues and to fix and to fight the smugglers is vital.
Meanwhile, Sheriff Cuellar has written his brother detailing the pressure put on his department by the influx of undocumented immigrants. Democratic candidate for governor Wendy Davis is being accused of flip-flopping on the death penalty by her Republican opponent. Davis voted as a Fort Worth City Councilwoman in July 2000 for an unsuccessful resolution supporting a death penalty moratorium, but on the campaign stump now says she supports it. Greg Abbott also accused Davis of political posturing, while a Davis spokesman says the senator is satisfied in changes to capital punishment made by courts and the legislature. An off-duty Dallas police officer is on leave after he fatally shoots a man. TSN's Joe Gomez has the story.
Police say a man was walking down a busy street making lewd comments to women. An off-duty officer followed the man, then watched as he allegedly tried to force his way into a car that had a family inside. The officer then yelled at the man. Police say the man then moved towards the officer in a manner, quote, perceived as dangerous. The officer then shot the man, who investigators don't believe was armed. He was rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. The officer was not injured, but is on administrative leave as the investigation continues. Joe Gomez, TSN News.
Prayers of farewell and counselors await those grieving the loss of an entire family killed in a violent car crash.
Neighbors and friends held a vigil Sunday at Argyle United Methodist Church, marking the passing of 4 members of the Miller family: 47-year-old Michael, 48-year-old Leanne, 12-year-old Zoe, and 7-year-old Miles Miller. All reportedly died instantly in a head-on crash on a lonely New Mexico highway. James Stanley, TSN News.
The drivers of 2 cars caught up in a high-speed police chase that began in Dickinson last night were killed when a Dodge Durango fleeing police at speeds in excess of 100 miles per hour blew through a League City stop sign and crashed head-on into an SUV. A runaway pickup struck a donkey-drawn wagon in Atascosa, injuring 5 passengers out for a ride, 3 adults and 2 children. Police say the pickup driver was later arrested. Well, a drug that's been used for years to treat breast cancer patients turns out to help infertile women get pregnant.
That will cause your body to think that there's a low estrogen state, and we're not making an egg this month because our estrogen's low, so your body releases extra FSH and LH hormones, which stimulate the ovaries to produce eggs inside these little fluid sacs called follicles.
Dr. Gregory Neal of the Fertility Center of San Antonio says Clomid is the drug of choice prescribed by fertility specialists. Well, there are fears another dangerous mosquito-borne illness could harm Texans.
We've been hearing about West Nile for years. Dr. Mark Escott, Deputy Health Authority for Montgomery County, thinks dengue will now migrate to Texas from South America and Mexico. He says unlike West Nile, where only 1 in 5 people show symptoms,
in the case of dengue, 80% do have symptoms and only 20% don't.
He says there have been a handful of cases this year in Texas, in South Texas for the most part, and most of the patients have gone to places where the virus is a problem. Escott says you should avoid dengue the same way you avoid West Nile. Wear long sleeves, use DEET, and dump standing water. Barbara Schwartz, TSN News.
Well, a lot of us certainly would not be surprised to learn that the hottest food on social media these days is bacon. There are Facebook pages and Twitter accounts devoted exclusively to bacon. Port Checkoff, Director of Strategic Marketing, John Green, says that's translating into real-world marketing.
You're seeing a lot of retailers start to feature bacon in their weekly ads as a way to drive traffic into the stores.
And he says the same applies to restaurants. Next.
Well-defined. I'm Mike Rogers with the other side of the news, and Ammon Shea says he doesn't really understand it.
The current print edition, there are 20 volumes, and it works out to 21,730 pages.
We'll have more coming up on the other side of the news.
And Chris Schneider has sports for you on this Monday morning as Morning News Break continues.
Parkview Nursing and Rehabilitation is the name you'll want to remember when you're not quite ready to go home after a hospital stay. Medicare and insurance-approved short-term stays make it easy for you to recover at Parkview. The quality of care, the experienced staff, and the local ownership and management make Parkview your best choice for person-centered nursing care. Parkview, 3200 Parkway, Big Spring.
DQ, this is the stop sign of Texas. How does your typical Texas mom stop the afternoon munchies?
Mom, we're hungry!
With a quick stop at DQ. From great DQ desserts like the S'mores Blizzard to classic dip cones, shakes, sundaes, and more. For the best treats and eats in Texas, there's only one place to stop. DQ, this is the stop sign of Texas.
Welcome back to Morning News Break. Here's TSN's Mike Rogers with a best of the other side of the news.
Ammon Shea says he doesn't really understand it, but he can't deny it either.
I've been reading dictionaries for the past 12 years or so. I guess the way that most people like to read books.
Because after all,
the dictionary really just is a book.
Or in the case of the Oxford English Dictionary, several books.
The current print edition, there are 20 volumes, and it works out to 21,730 pages.
And Ammon Shea has now read every single one of them. 600,000 definitions in all.
Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Right. Even that one. It took him the better part of a year, but he did it.
You know, for me, I used to look up words in the dictionary frequently when I was a kid. And you'd find some great word and just browse through, and you find another great word.
In other words, Ammon is more than just a word lover. He's an ardent peruser of semasiological illumination.
There are a lot of great stories in a dictionary, especially one like the Oxford English Dictionary, because it's so full of examples of great literature.
Have people ever suggested to you that maybe you've got too much time on your hands?
Yes.
But he keeps on reading and writing as well. He's out with a book about the experience, in fact, in which he shares some of his favorite words. like petrichor.
Which describes that kind of warm, loamy smell that comes off the ground when it first starts to rain.
What was the last word in the dictionary?
Zyxt, Z-Y-X-T.
Which means?
It's from the Kentish dialect, and it's the second person singular indicative present form of the verb to see.
And once Zyxt had been committed to memory, and it was all over?
Well, at first it felt quite exhilarating. And then shortly thereafter, I realized that I actually felt pretty sad.
Or perhaps melancholy. Some might even say lugubrious. But hey, there's always the encyclopedia.
There is, in fact, the encyclopedia, though. I currently have no immediate plans to start reading that.
And I'm Mike Rogers with the other side of the news on TSN.
Chris Schneider's got sports.
Thank you, Chuck. Good morning. Baseball yesterday. So the Rangers beat the Astros 6-2. Houston had won the first two games of the series. Nick Martinez getting his first win since May 24th for the Rangers. Jose Altuve had a couple of hits. His 49th multi-hit game this year for the Astros. A.J. Allmendinger beat Marcus Ambrose on a two-lap dash to the finish to win the NASCAR stop at Watkins Glen. Three-time Cup champ Tony Stewart pulled out of the race 12 hours after he struck and killed a sprint car driver on a smaller track that he was racing at Saturday night. Cowboys and Texans continue their training camps. Cowboys worked over the weekend but take Monday off. The Texans come off a big blowout loss in their preseason opener as well. Rory McIlroy is now 2 for 2 in the last two golf majors after winning the PGA Championship. Chris Schneider, TSN Sports.
And recapping our top story, it may be just a matter of days before the judge in the latest school finance trial issues his verdict. Last year, Judge John Dietz ruled it unconstitutional, but said he wanted to see what the impact of nearly $4 billion approved by lawmakers last year had on schools. Chuck Martin, TSN News.
Hello, I'm Larry McClellan, owner of Leonard's Family of Pharmacies, which has been serving Big Spring and Howard County for over 65 years. We've always strived to serve our hometown with exceptional service, competitive prices, and community service. We invite you to visit our 3 locations: Professional Pharmacy at 10th and Main, Leonard's Pharmacy at 7th and Scurry, and Westover Pharmacy on the corner of FM 700 and Westover. Enjoy the hometown service of Leonard's Family of Pharmacies.
Take advantage of Big Spring's big break from Westex and save money faster. With new low prices on fast, high-quality internet, you can enjoy faster download speeds for a fraction of the cost. And the best part is, no more dealing with those big out-of-town companies. With high-speed internet starting at just $22.35, Westex will move you faster and cheaper than anyone. And if you need even faster speed, we have you covered up to 3 megabits. That's enough speed for all your upload, download, and online gaming needs. If you're tired of paying too much for internet and just want to sit down face-to-face to do business, call Westex. We're faster, cheaper, and just more pleasant to work with. Give us a call today at 432-263-0091 or stop by our office at 711 Scurry Street to find out more. Brought to you by your friends at Westex. Small world, wide open.
Now it's time for the NASCAR Minute, brought to you by Dale Coates Heating and Air Conditioning and 87 Auto Sales on the K-Best Morning Program.
That's right. It's time for the NASCAR Minute, brought to you by Dale Coates Heating and Air Conditioning and 87 Auto Sales. I have Dale Coates and Tim Knox on the line right now. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Well, I'll go ahead and, because I know we're going to get into the Tony Stewart stuff, but before I get into this, I have to go ahead and start off the show by saying congratulations, Dale. You are now in first place on the NASCAR Minute. After you picked the Marcus Ambrose, you picked the Ozzy, he got second place, and you're now you have 304 points. You're in the lead. I'm in second with 324, and Tim's in last now with 339. So it's out of the way.
Okay, that part's out of the way. Let's get that over with. We'll gloat about that more on Wednesday. We got a bigger fish to fry with the Tony Stewart situation.
That's right.
Very tragic deal. I don't know what's going to come of it, but I just know that I don't know Tony personally, but I've known his character for almost 20 years, and I don't see him any way, anyhow, being a negligent fault here. I really think, I'm sorry for the kid that was injured and killed, but it was not a good deal on his part to get out of his car and charge down the racetrack towards oncoming traffic. That just wasn't a very intelligent decision he made.
Yeah, it was a pretty poor choice, and I did see the video of the incident, and people want to spin it one of two ways, and I think it depends if they're a Tony hater or a Tony fan, but I can honestly say I'm neither. He's not my guy, and I can't necessarily say I don't like him. I'm kind of neutral, but like you said, knowing what you know about Tony over the years, he's not going to do something foolish on the track that could injure somebody. And Dale, you and I talked yesterday, and Tony's the kind of guy where if he's got a problem, he'll settle it face to face back in the garage.
Right.
He's got a little bit more intelligence than that. And
I think respect for racing would be a better term.
Yeah,
absolutely. He's just not that guy that's going to go and put somebody's life in harm's way with a vehicle when he could just, like you said, get back in the garage and we can fist it up and go toe-to-toe if we need to. I just find it really hard to believe Tony would ever put himself in a situation on the track to hurt somebody physically.
Well, you talked about, the kid kind of walking down the track and what he did. But, Tony was right behind another guy. And, to me, it looked like Tony was trying to swerve to get out of the way because, those cars are a little difficult to see out of, especially those sprint cars. And I just don't think he saw him until it was too late, and he did everything he could to try to get out of the way. There's no doubt that lawyers are going to get involved here, and it's potentially going to be pretty messy. But
right,
yeah, and I'll tell you what's sad about this, Tim, is it's almost, I think last week was a year to the date when Tony was severely injured himself on one of these sprint cars.
Okay.
Severely broken leg. Is this going to be the end of Tony running sprint cars? I think that's an obvious possibility. Is this going to be the end of Tony racing at all? I think that's a possibility. This is something when you get over the fact, the fact of the matter is somebody did lose their life and he was at the wheel of the car. That's going to, it would for me play an effect on my career and what I do and how well I could do my career. And it's a sad situation for Tony as well. It's not to downplay somebody's life, but this is Tony's career. This is something he loves. This is his passion. And not only did we lose a life, we may have lost a good race car driver just because he can't keep doing what he does.
That's right. It is a very, very sad situation. Thoughts and prayers do go out to the Kevin Ward Jr.'s family and Tony Stewart and his family right now. Sad situation, and because of that situation, it almost foreshadowed A.J. Allmendinger getting his first NASCAR Sprint Cup win at Watkins Glen yesterday, which was
I'm going to tell you, if y'all didn't see that, that was some of the best racing I've seen in a long, maybe ever. I don't know, but that was some great racing.
It was intense. There was a pretty big wreck there about midway through the race that brought things to a halt for about an hour and a half. But the crew did a fantastic job getting out there, getting everything cleaned up and ready to go, and they had a fantastic finish there.
Yeah, that was a horrific accident. The fact that Ryan Newman and McDowell was not injured in that wreck.
Yeah.
That just tells you what NASCAR's done to make these cars so safe.
That's right. It was huge. But we'll talk more about the race. We'll recap a little bit more on Wednesday. And Dale, you can bust out the bragging rights a little bit there on a Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll gloat a little more on Wednesday when it's more appropriate.
All right, that'll work. Dale Coates, Tim Knox, thanks so much. Glad you guys had a great weekend. We'll talk with you more on Wednesday.
Y'all have a good one.
All right, thanks a lot. That was Dale Coates and Tim Knox with the NASCAR Minute, brought to you by 87 Auto Sales and Dale Coates Heating and Air Conditioning.
Summer is here, and it's hot, and so are the savings at 87 Auto Sales with over 250 pre-owned cars, pickups, and SUVs to choose from. They finance their customers right there at the dealership, so you can drive away the very same day in the vehicle of your choice. 87 Auto Sales has the right vehicles for your needs. Serving West Texas since 1972, 87 Auto Sales on the corner of 3rd and Greg Street in Big Spring.
Right
on the corner and right on the price. 87 Auto Sales.
Don't take a chance with your family's comfort. Trust Delcoats Heating and Air Conditioning. We provide our customers with quality products at a reliable service. Hi, I'm Dale Coates, here to tell you not to wait till the last minute to get your AC serviced. Delcoats Heating and AC offers many services to make sure summer season is comfortable, cool, with low prices and remarkable service. Our products are trusted to bring energy efficient, quiet, and consistent comfort to your home. So don't hesitate. Call Delcoats Heating and AC at 714-4688.
A career fair is here, hosted by the Big Spring Center for Skilled Care on Monday, August 18th. There are many positions available, including marketing, nursing management, nurse aides, and much more. There will be 2 sessions from 9 a.m. to noon and again from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. The Big Spring Center for Skilled Care is a brand new, state-of-the-art facility and will be opening this fall. If hired, you will enjoy great benefits such as health, dental, and vision insurance. Learn more about exciting opportunities by attending the fair at the Workforce Solutions Permian Basin, located at 1001 Birdwell Lane.
Ready for some golf, recreation, and social life? You might be ready for the Big Spring Country Club. There are hundreds of reasons to join. What's important to you? Great golf? Your own swimming pool? Home style, casual, or fine dining? It's okay to ask, what's in the club for me? Because membership isn't for everyone. Is it for you? Find out at the Big Spring Country Club. This could very well be the lifestyle change you're looking for. Call and schedule a visit, 267-8241.
Like a good neighbor, Goon's Farm is there.
Don't stop the beat. Can't control my feet. People in the street. Come on, everybody, and move your feet. Don't stop the beat. I can't stop the beat. I won't stop the beat.
Oh! Welcome back to Gooney in the Morning on KBST AM and FM. It is Monday, August the 11th. Gooney here with you this morning, getting you up and on your way. I want to give a shout out to all of our online listeners today, all across the world.
Yay!
Tune in either with their KBest app or at kbestmedia.com. We got Charles Sagona with us this morning.
Hey, I look at the app, and we do have worldwide listeners.
Yeah.
It's a fact. I can prove it.
I can prove it. We got Heather in the house.
Hey, guys.
It's a fact. I can prove that.
It's a fact, Jack.
Yeah, good job, Charles.
Nice. We're kicking off the Monday right this morning. We're going to be giving away some Aquatic Center tickets here in just a couple minutes.
It's like a party in here.
It is on a Monday too. How about that?
I know we are all in a surprisingly good mood for Monday.
Yeah.
Normally we're like, ugh.
That's nice. It was a good weekend though. We had a great weekend.
Yes.
Had a lot of fun. Charles and I had that the cook-off, the brisket and beans cook-off.
Biscuit and beans.
Yeah, brisket and beans. It was fun though. It was amazing brisket, some great beans. I was converted. I'm a bean eater now.
You know what though, Gooney? I'm going to throw somebody under the bus.
Uh-oh.
We don't know who cooked any of it.
That's true.
We don't even know what the winner was.
So we can do this.
But I will say,
I know where he's going. That's what
I will say, all of the brisket was great. There was one brisket.
It was kind of spicy.
Well, no, there was one
really
that you couldn't really tear off a piece
Yeah,
of.
it was pretty.
And then there were the beans.
The beans.
The worst beans were the one.
The last one.
It was, and it's a good thing it was the last one because they had that bitter, burnt taste.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, if this would have been the first one, I'd be like, nope, I'm done, no more. I can't do it. They were a little burnt.
A little burnt. And you know what? The thing is, you knew whoever cooked these beans had too much fun that day.
Yeah.
They're like, are you watching the beans? No, I thought you were watching the beans.
I was in the
worried about beans.
I was in the beanbag tournament. I don't know what you're
I was watching
about.
those beans.
We're just watching beans.
And then I can't help but think, you know what? Somebody just decided that they're gonna test us. Maybe that's the control test.
Could be.
Like to see if we're paying attention or we're just giving like dates across the board.
You're not like, bleh.
Yeah, right. They just threw some half-cooked beans in there, and they're like, let's just make sure these judges know what they're doing.
Be like, oh yeah, these are awesome.
Well, because it was funny because like I'd done one of these events before. I've got to judge food before. Charles had never been a judge before or anything like this, and the guy that was sitting next to us was like, I've never cooked brisket before. Like, how am I judging this? I've never even cooked one before. And I go, well, have you eaten one? He's like, yeah, all right, good enough. There you go. That's all you needed, I guess, is to just.
You're halfway qualified.
Yeah, exactly.
What was awesome is we were also judging on presentation. And
right.
you look at some of these, and I mean, they all looked nearly the same.
Right.
We had one that showed up. It was all chopped up. It was just chopped.
Just chopped, which was easier for us. We didn't have to tear it off or anything like that.
Yeah,
you got to know that if you can tear that brisket just right, that's how you know they cooked a good brisket.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to have
just
that
pulled off without even hardly tearing.
You have to be able to pull
but
it off.
There was one that got a 10 for me on presentation because they threw like this whole garden salad up underneath their brisket. And they're like, we're gonna win presentation.
We got some flair.
It did have flair. It did have flair. But the cool thing about this is the winners received first and second prize received a trophy. But the thing is, these people did this for bragging rights because most of them work over at Sid Richardson. I think we had one entrant was from the Cossacks Motorcycle Club.
That's right.
But mostly these guys work with each other and they wanted to brag with each other. And I saw a few of them are already sharing it on social media on Facebook. TJ shared it, and somebody goes, nobody remembers who will come in second place.
Yeah, right.
And but you know what, they do this for a good cause. And the cool thing was they all donated their brisket to be sold for plates, and all that money actually went back into the Relay for Life fund. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they definitely raised a lot of money for American Cancer Society this weekend.
Good job, guys.
So great job, Sid Richardson. Great job to the
Sid Richardson's doing it right.
Also. Oh, yeah, they're definitely doing it right. Now, let's hear about somebody doing it wrong, Heather, in the house.
All right, guys, we all know that there is many uses for ramen, right? You can...
No, there's one, you can eat it.
No, like the way you can eat it. Like there's spreads, burritos.
Is there?
I'll let you know after the show.
Oh, wow.
But anyways,
that's a whole new world.
Our woman doing it wrong is she comes out of Florida. She's 25 years old. Her neighbor, she lives in a trailer park up there in Florida. Her neighbor complained because she was picking rice by the pool out of her hair and just eating ramen.
Nice.
Wow. She was eating ramen while picking lice out of somebody's hair?
By the public pool that everybody else uses.
Seems legit.
Yeah. Well, this lady said something to her, like, don't do that. That's gross.
Stop.
Yeah, stop. Stop.
Which one did she not like more, the eating ramen by the pool or picking lice?
Probably eating ramen by the pool. I wouldn't want to be swimming and get like a noodle stuck to my face or anything. But this lady that was actually eating the ramen got really, really mad at this lady and threw her ramen at her.
Was it hot?
Probably.
Wow. So she hit her with her ramen noodle?
Yeah, but it says the people were mad because she was neglecting her kids, not paying attention while they swam, eating a bowl of ramen noodles, and picking lice out of her head.
The only noodle you should bring to the pool is the pool noodles, the fun noodles.
That's it. You don't
you know what I'm talking about? The big styrofoam noodle.
Who just sits there and is all like, okay, I'm going to take my kids to the pool while I eat ramen and pick lice out of my hair. Who does that? It's a great day, guys.
Right.
It's lunch by the pool.
Hey, there you go.
Pretty sophisticated.
She planned out her day.
I just want to point out if the pool had enough chlorine in the water, it probably killed the lice.
Probably.
I mean, still.
Wouldn't have done anything about the ramen, but...
How did she know what she was doing? I mean, I don't know.
She didn't. She was doing it wrong. That's definitely what she did.
That's all it was.
And don't forget, we'll have Debbie Valverde later on here talking about Leadership Big Spring. We also got Luis Lopez here talking about the Big Spring Youth Football Association. They got the sign-ups going on. We'll get you some more information on that. Charles, what was your favorite part of today's show?
My favorite part of the show was waking up today. The whole show was awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's what I like to hear. What about you, Heather?
Having Zach Majors on.
That was a good
It was cool talking to him again.
Interview. Yeah. That was a cool interview. That was definitely awesome. My favorite part of today's show, giving away Aquatic Center tickets right now to caller number 4, 263-KBST, 263-5278. Caller number 4 is going to get some Family Aquatic Center tickets.
And they're already ringing.
That's how we like to do it. We like to make you laugh as well. Remember, if you're not laughing, you're not living.
Your body's in good shape, but is your mouth? Ask Dr. Amy Reese at 710 South Main in Big Spring. Dr. Reese and her caring, courteous professional staff provide quality dental care for the entire family, from teeth cleaning to the smallest dental procedure to full rehabilitation, involving crowns, bridges, implants, and partials. You only have one set of teeth, and Dr. Reese can help you keep them for a lifetime. Let Dr. Amy Reese get your mouth in shape, now accepting new patients.
Park Place Retirement Living offers real apartments with the privacy and security everyone wants. Public spaces invite social interaction, from activities and entertainment to dining with friends in a comfortable environment. It's the Herald Reader's Choice for best retirement home. It's cost competitive, roomy, and comfortable. Come by soon. Visit with Amanda Cole Calvio and feel safe in your new home. Park Place, 501 West 17th, Big Spring.
Westex Auto Parts keeps an up-to-date inventory of transmissions, engines, and rear ends for late model pickups. It's the place to go to save money when you're faced with big problems with your pickup. Westex has been supplying drivers of late model pickups with parts since 1947, so you can count on fast, courteous, and dependable service. Call Westex at 263-5000. The folks in the know when it comes to parts for late model pickups. Snyder Highway, Big Spring.
With the news you need, when you need it. Howard County's news leader, your K-Best Radio Group News.
Good morning, I'm Kayla Kay with your K-Best Radio Group News. It's Monday, August 11th, and the time is 8:01, and it's 76 degrees. Your complete weather forecast is coming up. And a fatal shooting occurred on Saturday night. The events began as a carjacking at the TA truck stop at 704 West I-20 and ended approximately 7 miles away on Andrews Highway. According to the Big Spring Police Department, 24-year-old James Keck called 911 at approximately 8:20 to report his mother's vehicle was stolen and that he was in pursuit. The chase reached speeds of over 100 miles per hour before the driver of the stolen vehicle had come to a stop approximately 1 mile north of County Road 2599 on Andrews Highway. The driver of the stolen vehicle, later identified as 42-year-old Bobby Jean Bricker of Big Spring, was shot by Keck and later pronounced dead by Justice of the Peace Benny Green. Based on the investigation and available evidence, the Big Spring Police Department determined the shooting was not justified and charged Keck with murder. KBSD News learned that Keck was bailed out of the Howard County Law Enforcement Center on Sunday afternoon. His bond was set at $50,500, and a family member told KBSD News that Keck was moving to Dallas to start a new job. He was traveling with family in 2 vehicles that included his wife, 4-year-old daughter, mother, grandmother, and a family friend. They were also traveling with Trax, a 4-year-old dog that was described as family. The family insisted that Keck, who had a concealed carry permit, fired in self-defense after being fired upon by Bricker. KBSD News will have more on this story as further details are available. And KBSD received reports that one of our fire stations had been closed and that overtime was no longer being given to firefighters and paramedics. With our local population on the rise, I asked Fire Chief Craig Ferguson if this was a cause for concern.
Fire Station 1 is not closed. We occasionally do not man that truck out there, out at the airport, because of short staff and skyrocketing overtime costs. We looked at it, and with our short staff, we have had to call in a lot of backfill this past year, and that has made our overtime budget just go astronomical.
Some reports were saying that firefighters and EMTs weren't receiving overtime, but it seems that may not be the case.
And we are paying firemen overtime. You know, by federal law, we have to pay overtime. So firemen are still getting overtime. It's just not in the huge numbers that they were. You know, last year I had 4 firemen make over $100,000 a year in overtime. And not that they didn't earn it, because those guys get out and earn it every day. You know, to be fiscally responsible to the taxpayers. And it can be a safety issue when men and women of the fire department have been working 5 and 6 and 7 days in a row. You know, you need to go home and get some rest. You know, I got to look after them as well as a citizen.
With our local economy growing so fast, jobs that are essential to a community like this are sometimes on the back burner for jobs that may pay more. Chief Ferguson says that we are always in need of more firefighters and EMTs.
We're doing another new hire test on August 23rd. We're always looking for certified people, so anybody that, you know, is fully certified firefighter EMT, come out, and, you know, you have to go through the civil service testing process, but we would love to have you.
And if you're interested in attending a class to become a firefighter or EMT for the city of Big Spring, you can contact the HR department at 432-264-2347. And jury selection is scheduled to begin today at in the 118th District Court for the trial of Leroy Zubiate, who is charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon in the November 27th shooting that wounded Juan Diaz. Zubiate was arrested by U.S. Marshals in San Antonio about 3 weeks after the shooting. Testimony is set to begin tomorrow, and if convicted, Zubiade could receive a sentence between 2 and 20 years. And the city of Big Spring has identified a collapsed collection line that resulted in a sanitary sewer overflow near the intersection of 11th Place and FM 700. The city of Big Spring installed a bypass pump into the system prior to the faulty line to remove sanitary sewer and divert it to another manhole, bypassing the damaged area and containing the flow back into the proper wastewater system for appropriate disposal. No imminent danger is expected from this occurrence once the area has been cleared. The city of Big Spring will perform flushing of the area with water to dilute and treat that area and perform area remediation. However, as a precautionary measure, it is requested that citizens adhere to the following. Persons using private drinking water supply wells located within half a mile of the spill site or within the potentially affected area should use only water that has been distilled or boiled at a rolling boil for at least 1 minute for all personal uses, including drinking, cooking, bathing, and toothbrushing. Individuals with private water wells should have their well water tested and disinfected, if necessary, prior to discontinuing distillation or boiling. Persons who purchase water from a public water supply may contact their water supply distributor to determine if the water is safe for personal use. The public should avoid contact with waste material, soil, or water in that area potentially affected by the spill. And if the public becomes into contact with waste material, soil, or water potentially affected by the spill, they should bathe and wash clothes thoroughly as soon as possible. And the first annual brisket cook-off took place Saturday at the Eagles Lodge. This event was hosted by the Men in Black from Sid Richardson Carbon and Energy, and it benefited the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life. There were 11 teams competing in 2 categories in the competition, brisket and beans. Billy and Tommy Luxton, along with Louise Holt of Team Whatever, took second place in beans. Louise shares her secret for success.
I soak them in ice. My mother taught me everything I know.
TJ Rueda and Mike Guzman's team Up in Smoke won second place in brisket. TJ tells us about his process.
I've been cooking since I was 16. I started off cooking probably 4 hours, and I'm up to about 12 to 16 hours today. I really couldn't cook that long, so it's a little bit different today, a little bit harder.
Kelby Bailey and Ronnie Grant of Team Glazed and Confused were the big winners of the day, taking first place in both beans and brisket. Kelby tells us beans are her specialty.
Beans has been my secret for a long time, and this is how it is, man.
And his secret for his winning brisket?
Just seasoned up cooking, man.
Organizer Eric Gang says the event was better than anticipated.
Obviously better than we anticipated. Of course, the Eagles, along with a big donation to us for the Relay for Life, that was huge. And of course, everybody turned out. They cooked their own brisket and they donated that to us so we can sell plates or donation plates. It turned out really good.
And the event featured a beanbag toss tournament, a raffle, and a performance from Justin Kazak. In obituaries, Alfred Ray Lang, 62, of Big Spring, died Wednesday, August 6th. At Midland Memorial Hospital. Services are pending at Myers & Smith Funeral Home. George Gamage, Sr., 68, of Big Spring, died Thursday, August 7th, at Scenic Mountain Medical Center. Services are pending at Myers & Smith Funeral Home. And Bonnie Brimlin, 53, of Big Spring, died Saturday, August 9th, in Midland. Services are pending at Myers & Smith Funeral Home. KBST News Time is 8:10. We'll be back with your look at sports and weather right after this.
DQ, this is the stop sign of Texas. How does your typical Texas mom stop the afternoon munchies?
Mom, we're hungry!
With a quick stop at DQ. From great DQ desserts like the S'mores Blizzard to classic dip cones, shakes, sundaes, and more. For the best treats and eats in Texas, there's only one place to stop. DQ, this is the stop sign of Texas.
KBST News Time is 8:10. For a look at sports, it's KBST Sports Director, Gooney.
Thanks, Kayla. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones has commented on a series of photos of him with young women circulating the internet. He told reporters yesterday the pictures were taken 5 years ago at a Dallas restaurant and are being misrepresented. Jones knew the photos were out there, but wouldn't say if he was surprised they were released to TherezOwens.com. He also wouldn't comment on if authorities were investigating. Race car driver Kevin Ward Jr. is dead after a tragic accident in Canada Iuga Motorsports Park in New York State. WHAM in Rochester City's Ontario County Sheriff Phil Pavero was saying it was horrific news. A video shows Ward Jr. on the dirt track on foot after exiting his car following a spin out to confront fellow driver Tony Stewart, who hit Ward Jr. with his car. Police are investigating the incident. A.J. Allmendinger outlasted the field despite a near hour-and-a-half red flag delay in Sunday's Cheez-It 355 from Watkins Glen. In his first-ever Sprint Cup Series victory, the 32-year-old led 30 of 90 laps. Marcus Ambrose finished second, while Kurt Busch, Kyle Larson, and Carl Edwards rounded out the top five. There were a 1 hour and 21-minute delay due to a wreck on lap 57 that involved Ryan Newman and Michael McDowell. Tony Stewart's replacement, Reagan Smith, ended 37th. The Texas Rangers and Houston Astros battled it out in Houston over the weekend. The Astros won the series 2-1, winning Game 1 4-3, Game 2 8-3, but let the Rangers take Game 3 yesterday 6-2, with both Beltre and Chu getting home runs in the win. The Rangers are back at home against the Rays tonight with the first pitch at 7:05, and that game can be heard on the mighty 1490 KBST AM. The Astros are at home against the Twins tonight with the first pitch at 7:10. In minor league baseball, the Midland Rockhounds lost 2 out of 3 against Springfield over the weekend in Midland, taking Game 2 Saturday 9-3. The Hounds now travel to Tulsa tonight to begin a 3-game series with the first pitch tonight at 7:05. And in local sports, tennis practice begins today for Big Spring High School. Practice is from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the tennis center located inside Comanche Trail Park. Incoming freshmen and juniors must have a physical before participating in practice. For more information, contact Coach Jones at 432-557-3831 or log on to kbestmedia.com. This is Gooney in the KBest Sports Center.
The forecast you need when you need it. K-Best Weather.
And a look at your Howard County weather. Today's high will be 95 degrees with a 50% chance of rain this evening in the evening. Tonight's low will be 70 with winds out of the northeast at 11 miles per hour. Tomorrow the high is going to be 95 with winds out of the northeast at 11 miles per hour and a 20% chance of rain tomorrow and a low of 71 degrees. KBST news time is 8:13. I'm Kayla Kay, and this has been your KBest Radio Group News. Coming up on Community Calendar is Debbie Valverde, but first, the sound of Texas with Tumbleweed Smith, brought to you by Choate Will Service.
I'm Tumbleweed Smith. Memories of the Yellow Jacket Inn. In a moment on the Sound of Texas.
Whoa, times change. Choate Well Service hasn't changed. We're still here and have been since 1957, 56 years. Choate Well Service has lots of updated equipment for your continued service in all kinds of drilling and pump installations. Sizes from half horsepower to 150 horsepower. We don't sell bargains, only good service. Call us, Choate Well Service, 393-5231. We're the best in the business.
The Yellow Jacket Inn was a popular eating place where students in Muleshoe had lunch. The small, privately owned cafe was just across the street from the school complex that had all grades.
The ones that got permission from their parents could go across the street and eat lunch over there.
Kenneth Henry of Muleshoe says the cafe had hamburgers, hot dogs, soda pop, and candy. At lunchtime, it got crowded.
And they had to run them through there pretty fast, you know. They did. If you didn't have your mind made up, they'd take order from the next one behind you. So they had to because of the time of the noon time at the school. Most of them had their favorite. You know, they'd order the same thing nearly every day.
The place had long tables at first, then installed 5 booths. When they filled up, students ate outside where large cable spools served as tables. There were a few fights.
There was a few times that the teachers would have to be called over, but not very many. The children during that time acted well enough that it did not create a big problem.
When Muleshoe Schools instituted the closed campus rule, the business declined and finally closed. It was in business 53 years, from 1946 to 1999. The building was vacant for years. Students who had fond memories of the Yellow Jacket Inn wanted it preserved and moved to Muleshoe's Heritage Center, which has some historic structures.
They said, well, that building's sitting over there, they're going to tear it down or throw it away or burn it up or move it off. Why don't you put it over here with all these other historical buildings? And so there was enough people interested in it to get it moved over.
Kenneth became project manager to get the building moved. He put together a book where students told of their experiences at the Yellow Jacket Inn. They remembered the 15-cent hamburgers and Frito pies, which had a scoop of chili dumped into a bag of Fritos. They remembered the wax lips and peanuts in a round can, some with coins in them. They remembered knee-high soda pops, the jukebox, and pinball machine.
A lot of history to it. A lot of the first kisses took place around the Yellow Jacket Inn.
Kenneth Henry says athletic teams in Muleshoe Schools used to be called Yellow Jackets. Now they're called Mules. I'm Tumbleweed Smith with the Sound of Texas.
With summer fun in full swing, you may find your family schedule is filling up quickly. Making plans for orthodontic work may not be on your calendar, but orthodontics at Familia Dental is convenient and affordable. Familia Dental is located in Big Spring, offers free orthodontic consultations, $199 down, 0% financing, guaranteed in-house payment plan approval, and monthly payments as low as $75. This is a limited time offer. Book your free orthodontic consultation with Familia Dental by calling 432-264-0205.
Today, no matter what you're going through, God is on your side.
Through the hard times and the good,
God is on your side.
I have to praise you like I should.
Hi, I'm Kevin Knudsen, pastor at Life Church here in Big Spring. Life Church is an exciting, vibrant, spirit-filled, multicultural church on the corner of 10th and Johnson. Every Sunday there is contemporary worship, a dynamic, practical message from the Bible, fun and safe child care and children's ministry. There really is something for the entire family. Even though we worship in an old school, there's nothing old school about us. I would personally like to invite you to join us this Sunday at 10:30, or you can listen to us live every Sunday on 94.3 The Fuse. Our church website is golifechurch.com, and we hope you remember that no matter what you're going through, God is on your side.
You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 business days before any digging project. No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Brought to you by the Permian Basin Regional Planning Commission and Department of Transportation Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration.
You're listening to KBST AM and FM. It's time for the KBST Community Calendar, a daily program that focuses on the issues and events that affect our community.
And welcome to Community Calendar here on Gooney in the Morning on KBST AM and FM. Gooney here with you this morning. I have a special guest here in the studio. I have Mr. Luis Lopez. You're with the Big Spring Youth Football Association. Thanks for joining me today, man.
Oh, no problem.
Now, we've got the sign-ups going on right now. They've already kicked off. They kicked off just a few days ago for the, and this is for flag football, for the tackle football, and for the cheerleading, right?
Yes, sir, all three.
And now, how's it been going so far?
So far, the first day was a little slow. We're hoping to get a little more advertising, get on the radio like we are now, and get more people in.
Right. Now we were talking a little bit before we came on, and you were saying how it usually picks up about the first week of school. That's whenever the kids really start to come out.
Yes, sir. We think it has to do with all the kids that have signed up. They go in and start bragging about the team they're on and that they're playing, and it gets all the other students riled up, and then they kind of force their parents to get them in there.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, how many kids you guys have participate last year?
Last year it was somewhere around 386.
Wow, so almost 400 kids. That's a lot of kids right there.
Yes, sir.
That's a lot of registration forms to sign up right there.
And then the fitting, it's a process.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now, what can somebody, like, for instance, if there's a parent out there listening right now that wants to get their kid involved in playing football this year, what's the best way to go about doing that?
Well, a couple of ways. They can come in on this Saturday at the Big Spring Mall. We can do a one-on-one. I can talk with them, or they can call me personally.
Okay, great. Now, I know that there's a lot of parents out there that might want their kids to play football, but then again, over the past years, you've heard all these injury reports and concussions and stuff like that, so they're kind of on the fence about it. What would you say to a parent that may be on the fence about letting their kid play football?
Well, as of the last couple of years, we have made it our goal to buy brand new equipment. Okay. All of our helmets, as a matter of fact, are 100% brand new.
Right.
They're all air helmets. They're all warranted. They all have insurance on them. Right now, we're in the process of buying shoulder pads. Okay. We've got about halfway through this year. We're hoping to be 100%.
Oh, wow. So that's pretty huge right there. And those aren't cheap.
No, sir.
It costs some money for stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
And of course, that's what, when you pay to play football, when you pay your registration fees, that's what this goes towards. That goes towards all the equipment and the uniforms and stuff like that for the kids throughout the season.
Yes, sir, it does. Insurance, field cost.
Referee, I mean, you
the
pay
referees, yes, sir.
That's not cheap either, to get some refs out there on their days off to get out there and help out the kiddos.
Yeah, it's actually about $120 a game.
Oh, really? That's how much the referees show. Well, that's what we need to do. We need to go hold some of these referees and talk them into doing it for free. Let's call them out right now on the radio and be like, come on, refs, come do this. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, if there's any refs out there that'll do it cheaper than that, we'll take a bid.
There you go. Oh, definitely. Yeah, you always get something cheaper right on it.
Yes, sir.
Well, cool, man. Now, how many teams did y'all have last year participate?
Last year we only had 18. It's a little bit smaller, or a little bit less than we had the year before. The quality of play was really good last year. We were not sure why the downfall, I guess. We had a couple of teams from out of town that didn't come back.
Oh, okay.
They went 6-man, or they started a league in their own town.
Right.
So we think that might be the reason why we had less teams. But
yeah,
this year there's a lot more people in Big Spring, so we're expecting at least 20, if not more than that.
See, and we were talking a little bit about this because you have the flag football, which starts at ages 5 to 7. And I can remember when I started playing football, I was not even 5 yet. It was when I was still 4 years old. I was in full pads out there that were just sagging, hanging off of me, not even fitting. And that's how I remember starting out football. But they have the flag football league right now from 5 to 7. Is that more directed towards the safety of the sport, do you think, so they can kind of learn the fundamentals before they jump into pads?
Yes, sir. We're looking to getting back into tackle football for the younger kids. We used to have 4-year-olds that play, and if you see a 4-year-old next to a 7-year-old, that's a major difference there. So we eliminated the 4-year-olds just to keep the flag division alive without to reduce injury.
Right.
But we're trying to go back into it, but the cost of pads and equipment is so expensive that it's just going to take a while.
Right. And see, that's one of the things is like we were talking about earlier. How much is it for just one helmet? Just to throw that out.
One helmet's about $89.
Just for one helmet. So about how much would you say it costs to fully uniform just one player in the league?
One kid, fully uniform, just the uniform, not insurance, field cost, all the other stuff, is probably about $194.
Wow, so close to $200, and you guys, just the registration is $160. So just right there, you're taking a little bit of a hit just to keep this up and going. Is there any way that anyone can donate to the Big Spring Youth Football Association to kind of help out with costs and stuff like that?
Yeah, we hand out flyers to coaches. Try to get every team has to have a sponsor. That's one of our recommendations. You have to have a sponsor. Right. Anybody can come in. They can call me. They can call one of the other board members. And they can give a donation, and we'll gladly give them a page saying that they did donate to this league.
Certificate saying thank you for helping out.
Yeah, and we try to give them a banner. We try to take care of them.
Nice. Yeah, awesome, man. That's really cool. And just again, right now, you guys have the sign-ups going on until August 30th, correct?
Yes, August 30th.
And they can go down to the Springtown Plaza to do this, to get signed up and everything?
Yes, sir. The location we had last year, it's not the same location. It's further down towards Bells, across from Blum's and Attitudes.
Right. So just kind of down on the other side of the mall a little bit.
Yes, sir.
There you go. That'll work. Again, Springtown Plaza, you can get signed up. The times are between 10 and 5. So is this Monday through Friday? You have someone down there ready to sign up? Or
This week it'll just be Saturday. Next week we'll probably do Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Okay, but Saturday is probably when most people show up to sign up their kids.
Yeah,
'cause they're working
Saturday's
during the week.
pretty busy.
I bet that's a busy time of the week. Well, thanks for everything you do. We also have cheerleading signups, and that's real important for these kids too, because that gets the girls involved at a young age, and I'm sure a lot of those girls go on to help, with the cheerleading squads at all of our high schools in the area, and that's for ages 5 to 12, and the cost there is $125. And that's something else that we probably don't talk about enough is the cost of the cheerleading uniforms is not cheap as well. That costs some money.
Yeah, it does cost money. Luckily, we get to carry the girls as a part of the team, and they don't have field costs and stuff like that, or else that price would go up also.
Oh, wow. Well, that's huge. So, yeah, the ages 5 to 12 for cheerleading as well. The tackle ages, it's ages 8 to 12, and you just no 7th graders.
Yeah, no 7th graders. Once they're eligible to play school ball, then we can't have them with us anymore.
Get up to the big boy leagues, huh?
Yes, sir.
Step up a little bit. Well, cool, man. 8 to 12. The price for that is $160. For flag, it's ages 5 to 7. Price for that is $60. Sign-ups are held there at the Springtown Plaza going on until August the 30th. The main day to sign up would be Saturday 10 to 5. Like you said, you can also come down next week between Tuesday and Friday. There should be someone down there to help you.
Yes, sir. I'll probably be there from about 4 to 8 Tuesday through Friday, and then 10 to 5.
You're going to be busy over the next few weeks, man.
Oh, yes, I will.
Next few months, really. It's non-stop for you, huh?
It dies down once the games start.
Well, that's good. At least get a little bit of a break, man. Well, and they can also give you a call, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, and that phone number to call you, Lewis?
432-213-7422.
There you go, 213-7422. You can give Lewis a call if you have any more questions. And we'll also have the information here. I know we have it at kbestmedia.com. You can go to our sports section there, and we have an article posted there with all of the dates and information there as well. Or you can just always give us a call here at the station, and we'll help out with that as well as much as we can to get the info out there for you, Lewis.
That works for us.
Also, you said you want to give away something pretty cool today while you're here, right?
Well, yeah. Let's. I guess you want to do the details. I'll give away one free registration to whatever you pick.
There we go. So if you have a kid out there, that's one way to do it. If you have a kid out there that may be interested in playing flag football, or you have a daughter out there that wants to get in on the cheerleading, or even a kid that's aged 8 to 12, you'll give away a full scholarship for the price of registration for the tackle ages too, which is $160. That's huge right there, Lewis.
Yeah, I guess you want to put out the details. We'll give out a what's the most expensive? $160. We'll give out a tackle scholarship right now.
There you go. Give us a call, 263-KBST, 263-5278, and we'll give that away to a caller. You pick out the number between 1 and 10. What do you think?
I'd say caller number 1. Let's get it over with.
Caller number 1. Yeah, well, we got a phone call coming in right now. Let's go ahead and just get them on the air while you're here, Lewis. Hi, you're on Community Calendar here on Gooney in the Morning. Who are we talking to?
Jennifer James.
Jennifer James. Do you have a kid that's looking to play some football this year?
Oh, yeah, Mr. Logan.
Mr. Logan. How old is Logan?
He just turned 12.
Oh, wow. So this will be his last year in playing in this league, huh?
Yes.
He'll be one of the big boys there. Well, Jennifer, Lewis, he's nice enough here. He came on the show this morning. He's going to give away a scholarship for the registration there for that tackle group. So congratulations there to Mr. Logan, and congratulations to you guys. You won't have to pay that $160. That'll be waived by Lewis here. He's going to give that out for you for free this year. Congratulations.
Thank you, and thank you, Lewis.
No problem.
You bet. Jennifer, just hang on the line for just a few seconds, and we'll get you all that information, okay?
All right, thanks.
All right, don't go anywhere at all. There you go. Well, thanks a lot, Lewis. That's huge right there. And that's good that Jennifer was able to take advantage of that, because Logan, this will be his last year, and I'm sure he's probably played several years and paid this fee several times.
Actually, if I'm not mistaken, he played for me on the Longhorns about 3 years ago.
Oh, really? Well, there you go, man. So they've definitely paid their dues, and now they get a free year out of it. How about that? The last year's free. Well, thanks a lot for coming on with us this morning, Lewis. And again, if you have more information, you can contact Lewis at 213-7422 or go to kbestmedia.com. Thanks for coming on, Lewis, and good luck this season, bud.
Thanks for having us.
You bet. Lewis Lopez there with the Big Spring Youth Football Association here on Community Calendar. Coming up, we'll have Debbie Valverde talking about Leadership Big Spring right here on KBST AM and FM.
Do you have experience in the environmental or emergency response industries? Does the thought of working in volatile, high-risk situations give you a rush? Or do you just like to get dirty? Allied International Emergency is now hiring full and part-time hazmat supervisors and technicians for their Stanton location. AIE offers competitive wages, services, along with full benefits including 401k. Apply online today at AIemergency.com. Join our team today for an exciting career in hazmat, fire, and safety.
This is a public service announcement from the KBS Radio Group. Are you tired of living in constant struggle? Is your load too heavy to carry another step? Do you want to feel free at last? Reformers Unanimous is a Christ-centered, faith-based addiction discipleship program which is designed to set you free from many addictions. Join Reformers Unanimous at Trinity Baptist Church on Mondays from 7 to 9 p.m. Enter at the north door of the church, and for more information, call 230-0070.
And now, let's get back to Community Calendar on KBST.
And welcome back to Community Calendar here on KBST AM and FM. Gooney here with you this morning. We have Debbie Valverde now here in the studio. Good morning, Debbie.
Good morning. Which microphone?
Either one. Here, just use both. How about that? Look at that. We got Debbie Valverde in stereo.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Not really. It's just two different microphones.
Well, don't let me sing then.
Get on the,
no.
You've got to get on the camera's rolling already, Debbie. It's too late.
No.
You have to get on there and check that out. Look at Debbie in style in the KBS studio. Just rolling with
Big Spring. Hello, everybody.
There you go. Well, thanks for joining me this morning, Debbie. This is our first community calendar together.
Yes, it is.
How about that? It's time for a party.
Cool. Yes, it is.
Wow, we should have some confetti or something.
Because we're happy.
That's right, yeah. Doesn't that get you up and going in the morning?
Yes, it does. Yes,
All right,
it does.
That's like you.
Yes,
Well,
it does.
you're here to talk about leadership today.
Yes, Leadership Big Spring begins on September the 11th. It'll be our first day of class. Leadership Big Spring has been going on since maybe the early 80s.
Oh, wow.
It's a program that was started by Johnny Lou Avery and several other Chamber Board of Directors, and it's been going on ever since.
Wow.
And all it is a 9-month program, and before we used to kind of do it like January to December, take a break during the summer. Well, we changed all that. Let's go with the school calendar.
There you go.
We start in September, end in May, graduate in May, and it's working a whole lot better.
Oh,
Working a whole lot better.
Get the summers off now for leadership, huh?
Yes, but what leadership program is all about, it's just it helps people that are either have lived here all their lives or have just moved to Big Spring and want to know what is going on in Big Spring, and just like a behind the scenes on what is going on in education, the county, the city, the medical field, our ag, industrial. We go out to Atmos, we go to TXU.
Okay.
And so it's just a behind the scenes tour, and we go to Western Container. We've gone out to the new Big Spring Rail and talked to them as well. So there's a lot of things happening in Big Spring, and so we just want either you're new or if you've lived here all my life. I took Leadership Big Spring back in, in the early 90s.
Right.
And so, I was born and raised here. I thought I knew everything.
Yeah.
Well, no, you don't.
Yeah.
You really don't. You
Right.
really don't. So if there's anyone out there that has lived here all their life and want to come and join us with Leadership Big Spring, please do.
Yeah.
We do have applications. We have mailed our applications out to our chamber members.
Okay.
And for chamber members, the cost is $400
Right.
for the 9-month program. If you're a non-member, it's $600.
Okay.
And that just helps to pay for gas
Right.
for the bus that we use through Howard College, as well as meals and any just materials that we need to copy or order
Right.
for the group.
Yeah, because
So-
there's a lot that you guys do that's not free. You know what I mean? It costs money to travel around.
It's funny, right? It's funny how a lot of people think the chamber gets everything for free. We're just like every other business.
Right.
We're just like every other business. I mean, we do have
Oh, yeah.
expenses, and we only run off of chamber membership dues.
Right.
There isn't any money coming in.
There's not a lot that you sell down at the chamber to make
No,
some revenue, is what
there
you're
isn't. No, there isn't. So we try to get our members involved in everything we can.
Oh, yeah.
I'm out there. Nancy, my assistant, is out there, and we represent the 300 plus members that we have.
Wow.
I mean, we don't expect all 300 of y'all to to follow us everywhere.
Right.
But we try to represent you the best way we can.
And it's good to know that the town that you're living in and raising your family in, it's good to know all of the history and what's going on right now.
That's true because we do go to the Heritage Museum where we have a lot of history there.
Oh, yeah.
But as well as Western Container.
Yeah.
Okay, Coca-Cola bottles. Yeah, you drink Coke, Diet Coke, whatever, water, Dasani water. But a little bitty pellet is what makes that bottle. Okay, how does that happen? Well, you can learn how that happens.
Now, when you do stuff like this, what exactly is the process? Like, for instance, say when you go to Western Container, is it it's like a field trip when you were in high school?
It's almost like a field trip. It really is. But, we do have many of the top people that come and talk to us, let us know what's going on, what they plan for the future, if there's any plans, and maybe expansion or hiring, etc. And then we go through and see what all they do. And how it begins and how it ends.
Right.
So.
Oh, that makes sense. Well, that's a pretty neat deal. It's something that, like myself, I've lived in Big Spring for going on 16 years now. And,
you want to do leadership.
I probably should, because there's tons around here that I will learn just from talking to folks and stuff like that. And I'm like, wow, I never realized that was going on right here in Big Spring, or that was part of Big Spring's history.
Well, and just like with education, I try to hit not only Howard College and SWID, and of course Big Spring, but we also go out to Coahoma and to Forsan.
Okay.
We are the Big Spring Area Chamber of Commerce, and so we try to represent as much as we can through Coahoma and Forsan as well, and bring them in.
Well, that's really important, because both of those communities are embedded right here in Big Spring.
That's right.
They do all their shopping here in Big Spring, and all of their family is right here in Big Spring. I graduated from Forsan. My wife graduated from Coahoma.
Oh, hey.
That's two of those communities coming together.
That's true.
And you see that so often in this area that, Big Spring includes Forsan and Coahoma. That's one big community. And Ackerley as well. Ackerley, they come to Big Spring to do a lot of their shopping.
We do the same as well.
Yeah, there's tons of surrounding communities right here that they need the representation, and you guys do a really good job of doing that for them.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. We try.
You try too.
We try. Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Now, if someone's wanting to get involved with Leadership Big Spring, what is the first step? Where do they need to start?
We do have an application that they need to fill out. If they'll give us a call, my number at the office is 263-7641. Nancy or I will be glad to email you the application, or if you want to come by and pick up an application, we're located at 215 West 3rd, right at the corner of Highway 87 and 3rd. We're the building with the big mural on the side. And just come by and pick up an application, fill it out, and we'll get start getting you all the information. A lot of it is done through email by Nancy. Nancy does a lot of emails.
She does.
There's a lot of emailing. And so that's how we'll keep in touch with all of our participants.
Okay, but always stop by the chamber. You like having visitors there at the chamber.
Oh yeah. The class, we do have a minimum of 25 that we're accepting. So please, we want to fill the class.
Right.
This past class that we had was a little small, but hopefully this year we'll get a few more. Get a few more, and we're asking those that have graduated in the past. Come try it again. Come again. Things have changed. Yes, things have changed from back in the early 80s to now. A lot has changed.
There's a lot to change since then, definitely.
So
and what's cool is if you join, like, for instance, if you've done a leadership class in the 80s and you'd like to do it again, you do it now. A lot of the new stuff that was going on in the 80s would be history now. So now you get to recap on some of what was new back then. Or
things that were talked about in the 80s that maybe we're going to do this, maybe we're going to do that. And it's happening. It really is. It's happening.
The settles is finally open again. Look, join again. Yes. And you can talk about that. Finally, it's happened. Let's talk about it. That's awesome. That's a really cool deal right there. Leadership Big Spring. Mainly, to me, what it sounds like is it really benefits those who have always just wanted to know more about Big Spring, especially if you've lived here for a long time and you just want to get more involved and know what's going on and how we're moving forward. Or if, like you said, you just moved to the area, this is a perfect way to get involved and get connected with those in Big Spring and to learn a lot about the community that you're joining.
Well, for example, Alex Caruth, he's with Scenic Mountain Medical Center, and hey, Alex, I'm shout out to you. But he just moved here, and I met him at a meeting, and he was emailing me with questions on how his wife and his kids can get involved, etc. They put him through Leadership Big Spring, and I mean, he's going. We have got him busy. He's on my Rotary board. I am president for the Rotary this year.
Congratulations,
so, thank
by
you.
the way.
So thank you very much.
Yeah.
But he's on my board, and we're just keeping him busy. We're keeping he and his family busy, and they're enjoying it. They're enjoying it.
That's awesome. Well, once again, Debbie, how can you get in touch if you want more information, just to get some information about leadership?
Leadership Big Spring, the first day of class is September the 11th. We do have a deadline of this week, the 15th, for registration. We may extend that. Just so that we can make sure to get everyone in and get the applications in.
It's a busy time of year.
It is. Everybody's getting ready for back to school. And so, but we'd like to have the applications in by the 15th, if at all possible. Give us a call. Our number is 263-7641, or come by the office at 215 West 3rd, and we'll be glad to give you an application. If you have any questions, just give us a call. Chamber members, the cost is $400. And just remember, you as an employer, if you have an employee and you're a member of the chamber, it costs $400. And so, I mean, we've had a few participants that have paid it on their own. They just paid for it themselves.
Right.
But usually it's the employer that helps out and wants their employee to get to know more about Big Spring.
Right.
So, and if you're a chamber member, it's $400. For non-members, it's $600. And we will work with you. We will work with you in regards to payment as well. So just give us a call.
Well, there you go. And how long is the class again?
It's a 9-month program. We start September 11th and we end in May, graduate in May.
Now, this is one thing, just real quick before we go. I know whenever you say class, that makes some people cringe just a little bit because it reminds you of going back to those high school days. And it's not necessarily just a sit-down class where it's just test.
No. You know, you do get some leadership skills. You know, we do talk to you about how to work as a team, because this class will come up with a community project, and you have to have it done by May.
Right.
So you have to learn to work together, and everyone has their own ways. I mean, they're, and so their own personalities. So, and it is only the second Thursday of every month. Okay, from 8 in the morning till 5. And it varies. Time does vary, but I am saying 8 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon.
Right.
So it's the second Thursday of every month, unless spring break or a holiday or something comes up that we have to move it. We will let you know in advance.
Christmas falls on the day.
Well, no. We will let you know in advance. I mean, there are some reports that we do ask you to write. We ask you to attend community meetings, for example, city council, EDC, county, school board, excuse me. And, we ask you to write a report.
Right. But that's the kind of things that it gives you the information to get to those things. Because if you're wanting to get involved into something like Leadership Big Spring, then you're more than likely already wanting to figure out how to go to city council meetings and things like that. So this helps you get your foot in the door and show you how you do that
and
stuff.
Who knows, you may run for city council. You may be asked to be on a board, like, for example, United Way.
Right.
I mean, or even a city, Public Works. They may ask you to be a part.
Right, exactly.
So that's what it's all about.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for coming on this morning and talking with us about Leadership Big Spring. It's a huge, it's really huge what Leadership Big Spring does here in town. And like I said, it helps folks get involved and learn so much about the community that they're living in and growing in. And thank you so much for spearheading that and just for coming.
You're
on
welcome.
And talking
You're
about
welcome. You're welcome. Just get involved. And one last shout out. Congratulations to Manny and Nicole.
Yes.
It was a beautiful ceremony on Saturday. Congratulations, y'all.
There you go. Well, Debbie Valverde, thank you so much for coming on this morning and talking about Leadership Big Spring. And once again, you can just stop on by the chamber, say hi to Debbie. They always like visitors there, and she'll get you all hooked up with more information on that. You've been listening to Community Calendar here on Gooney in the Morning on KBST AM and FM.
You've been listening to the KBST Community Calendar on KBST AM and FM on KBS.